Hey, Crown Content Publications, followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for clicking on my video this morning to see what it is I have to say. If you're new to my channel, welcome a million times, welcome 1,000 times. I'm Arthur, podcaster, Miss Tedda Sherry Whitney. I'm still trying to grow a name out here for myself when it comes to my podcast, and that's where we are. The Crown Content Publications YouTube channel has been around since we're not that old. I'm just talking about the channel now. We've been around for about almost 2 years, but about a year and a half strong now. And we just want to thank you guys for your support, you faithful subscribers, you newcomers, and our future comers, who might come across these streams later. We love you. And we would love to have you join by hitting that subscribe bell and joining the Crown Content Publications YouTube family with us. Subscribe to our channel, especially if you're a book business lover. Okay. When I say business, it gives me the space to talk about business on many different levels. From the bookkeeping side, finances and income, branding and networking, to, right, the actual work itself, the actual character of the people doing the work itself. But anyways, good morning, y'all. I just feel so great this morning. I guess it's this. I'm trying these new flavors. I mean, I might be a little behind, but I used to just be so old fashioned. I really never cared for what flavor of coffee. I ain't gonna say I never cared for what flavor. I'm talking about like when I make it at home, because of course you have varieties to choose from when you go to like Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and stuff like that. And Quick Trip. I gotta bring up Quick Trip. If y'all don't know nothing about Quick Trip, you gotta visit the South sometime in your life. It's like the one-stop shop for gas, snacks, hot coffee in the winter, hot coffee and hot chocolate for sure. They have every different flavor. Shout out to Quick Trip this morning. Okay, but I was saying the coffee I be drinking at home, like when I shop for it, I really never. I'm gonna say it usually be between like Folgers and Maxwell. But lately, I've been experimenting with new coffees. Isn't that great, guys? And this coffee, it's a Starbucks, some type of fall blend. I didn't even know they sold that in the grocery stores. I also got a good deal on some hot sauce, factored by Taco Bell. Like, dude, that is a big. I'm thankful for the little things. I found a whole bottle of Taco Bell hot sauce, and it's made my life that much better. I can use it on whatever I want to at home. But of course, food is not what this stream is about today. We just wanted to greet our good mornings to you guys. Happy Tuesday, September 26th. Man, this month flew by. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting a little older and my birthday was this month or what, but this month definitely flew by. So I'm expecting the rest of the fall to probably do the same. You know what I mean? These days, where do the days go, right? Uh, she said it's funny how time flies when we're having fun. So y'all will love this channel because one thing about it, I'm not just a podcaster, I'm an author as well, and I'm also a poet. So, the different perceptions on different topics and opinions that I have, I would like to even start bringing my voice more to the forefront outside of just writing. But my podcast platforms allow me to do that, and also invite others, to pitch in with their comments, opinions, and uh, perceptions as well. And that's one thing I do want to say at the beginning of this stream. Everything, all of my expressions and views are just mine. Everything I'll be talking about today. And yes, I'm talking about three specific celebrities because like Blueface and Krishan wasn't even on the agenda of notes of a couple to talk about when it comes to the topic of value in a relationship, how we value one another, um, whether a man is, certified to tell a woman what her level of value is. Now, it's going to show, but like I said, I'm about to get to this topic, but it's a reason. And yes, I thought to myself, I said, you know what? I don't know. I should have been one of those women that called into his show when he was doing that. But, as much as I would hear his name when he was living, because y'all know he just passed recently, But when he was living, apparently the morals and ethics and principles that I stand on in life, they're often tested. Like, this is what I mean, guys. People hear what I'm saying in my book, on my podcast, or just on the phone. Any type of connection with me. That's why I do feel like I'm destined to do what I do. I don't care how small we seem to be, how many books, how few books I've sold this year. No, I'm destined to do this because what you do when you get into the business of communications or authorship or anything with the media and entertainment, which authorship and podcasting is very well that people will listen to what you're saying, just like Mr. Kevin Samuels, and then go back and try to assess your life, because people going to talk about what you say. That's the point of entertainment. The critics pay us. Every time they're talking about, as a matter of fact, I'm really encouraging all my critics to bring everything you got, bring it to the channel. What? The comments, the views, the likes, everything you're talking about, bring it to YouTube, right? Or bring it. A lot of people don't mind bringing it to social media, right? This is how Krishan and Blueface are back into it as we speak. But the main fact is that Krishan and Blueface are getting paid every time y'all turn around and worry about their business. That's why I want to talk about them before, because I wasn't even supposed to start this live until 5:30 this morning. But since I'm already at it, I probably will go ahead and start at it wasn't 5:30, 5:15. Oh, Mountain Time anyway. Now, since I'm starting a little earlier, I'm gonna use the first half of my segment to kind of talk about, when it comes to the topic of value, I do want to kind of point out what we can learn, what we can assess, where we might can probably even help the issue. Because just talking about the young lady, if she's really going through what she's going through, I don't see how that's ever helped any first time single mother, right? Look how this generational pattern just happens, predominantly in the black community, right? Oftentimes, like, I've seen so much in my generation lately that I've come up with quotes. What do they say? I mean, there's all these quotes that were like invented over time. And one of those quotes is this, guys, straight up, because I don't know if Krishan Rock will ever come across my stream, if I'll ever meet her. Somebody posted on Facebook actually last night. They were like, if you could meet any celebrity before you die, just one, who would it be, right? And it got a lot of comments. A lot of people responded. I thought it was an interesting question, but straight up, y'all, outside of Anita Baker, because that's a hard one though. Just one. Anita Baker was my choice, but then again, I would say Krishan Rock. Yeah, because it's not like she's not going places. We saw her potential before she was with Blueface, right? Everybody want to go back to her high school pictures and who she was before she got with Blueface, right? But it's like, yeah, that means y'all seen her potential. Everybody want to be like, oh, look how she look now that she with Blueface, and look what she going through, right? Man, I'm gonna need y'all to get off Krishan Rock back just a little bit. I mean, I get it. We all, when it come to newborns, none of us is playing, right? None of us want to see a baby looking like it might be neglected a little bit, malnutrition or whatever, right? But I'm just now seeing this new stuff Blueface just did, y'all, and I'm like, I can't even sleep. I gotta bring that to my, is this real? Sir, to humiliate your baby mom, you expose your child's genitals on social media? Yeah, he finna go to jail, bro. That's the last update I seen about it. There's people already making calls. It don't matter that he's a celebrity, how much money he got. We were talking about God complex mentalities way last week on this same podcast. So Blueface definitely falls in that category where he feel like he can exploit his own son at the cost of humiliating some woman. If you really don't want her, Blueface, bro, because we seen you over there. You got back with Alexis there. You got back, with the one you had two by. So Blueface go over there and oh, I'm gonna say this about Alexis too, because now she's all crying on Facebook because he had went back to Krishan for a little while. And I don't know why y'all put the other podcasters. I don't know why y'all put that they got back together after the baby. They did not get back. Her allowing him to meet his son and them kicking it for her son is not them getting back together. So y'all got to get the facts straight. I saw one comment that was really cool. Somebody said, "Oh, we'll believe you through with him when you get that tattoo off your neck." I defended her on that comment too. I said, "Look, sis, I have a tattoo, uh, somebody's name I ain't been with in 10 to 12 years for sure. Okay. And so, what are you saying? I'm tired of all these folklores. Y'all want to wonder why it's so much confusion. We're talking about celebrity couples first. Okay. So, you can have a tattoo of somebody's name. I'm sorry to bust y'all bubbles because y'all want to have a reason to talk about Krishan Rock. One, which I did just mention. Every time y'all comment, hit a like, say something else about their relationship. Both of them, not just Krishan Rock, get paid. Both of them are getting paid off of every view, off of every topic that we create. Now, like I said, I didn't plan to talk about them this too. I'm still about to talk about Kevin Samuels, and not in a negative way. I don't feel like I'm talking about Krishan and Blueface negative. I'm just talking about what we can assess and learn from these situations, for sure. And when it comes to everybody's opinion of value, right? That's where we're going to talk about Kevin Samuels in a minute. God rest his soul, because he just left her. So, yes, I'm going to stand up in my generation. Every little voice matters, on my opinion of value and how nobody should be trying to tell nobody what their value is, in my opinion. At the beginning of this stream, I said that all my expressions I will be giving out today are just my own. Nothing is like, nobody has to agree, right? And then we left a link at the bottom. Good morning, my sister. We left a link at the bottom here for anybody that wants to jump on with me this morning. I don't know how long we're gonna go, but there's no way you can talk about a topic like value. I might have to do a part two to this. Not just the value of a woman, the value of a man, the value of anything. Value is not, now that I'm even coming more enlightened on what value is to me, like that's not something you can teach nobody about themselves, tell them about themselves. That's just my opinion. Now you can value something all day long. You can value somebody all day long. Let's go back to Krishan Rock and Blueface real quick, for example. Everybody seems to be able to clearly see that, oh, he don't value her. Let's talk about reasons that people thought that, right? He's exploiting her while she's drunk. This was long before the baby. This is crazy. Long before the baby, he was exploiting her while she's drunk. What else was he doing? Oh, you seem to always be feeding her liquor, sir. But you didn't understand why people, oh, y'all on her side, y'all don't know the real her. Sir, we don't have to know the real her. You put on camera her drunk, I guess, and on Percocets, pills, whatever. Okay, it's different for a young lady to be recording herself. She's better off single. This is why people say this. Like, it's better for a woman to be by herself, recording herself, her own faults, her own blemishes, hanging with her homegirls and spending time with family, shopping, whatever it is women do. She's better off doing that than some man using her imperfections and exploiting them all over social media and YouTube. Is stupid. And it is what is it? Like crime, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, you're definitely violating her human rights, boom, boom, boom. So you got a lot of women that I feel like they be so in love with these guys where they know that some of the treatment they be going through. Can I use the word legal real quick? Because a lot of men will say, well, I value her, I'm not putting my hands on her. Just like with Krishan Rock and Blueface, people were quick to say he don't value her because he was hitting her, right? I've heard a whole man say they were taught, it was a man much older than me for sure, that in their day, some women feel like hitting it. What did that man tell me? This, and I know y'all have heard people say this type of stupid stuff before, whether it was verbally or like in the comments of somewhere on social media. So I done heard people say stuff like, well, that man was saying something like he was taught in his upbringing and household that hitting your woman is a sign of love. And I said, oh my God. Because, like I said, I really should have jumped on or became a guest on Mr. Samuel's show sometimes and bring up stuff like that. Because it's people in his age range will say stuff like that. Like, hey, back in the day, that's a sign that you loved your woman. I don't know where that came from. How, or maybe for women who find abuse, you know, a form of love. You're definitely not valuing her if you like to see her eye black. You like to see that she can barely walk because you kicked her in her shin because she said something you didn't like. You like her walking around with her head hung, her chin almost to her chest. Not every man, but a man that doesn't value a woman, this is what it looks like. Now, I don't know Blueface and Krishan Rock personally. That's why whoever posted that on Facebook last night, what I was talking about, like what celebrity would you want to meet before you die if you could only meet one? I would. Now, Anita Baker's definitely at the top of my list, but with what's going on today, I would say Krishan Rock, because like I said, it's not like she didn't have potential before that guy even came around, right? Come on now. And then I feel like she got more in her than music. She got a whole purpose on this globe. Most of us do. All of us do. But free will is a thing too, what you choose. And a lot of us go choose and still go blame others for what we chose. It's crazy. How does that work? How is this anybody valuing themselves? It's just a question. Good morning, good morning, good morning out there, guys. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up. I do already know the mindsets of people out here for sure. If a man said it wasn't a man I'm dating, I openly talk to people about their opinions and perceptions on life anyway. I'm an author. Okay, so it's like, how do you value? Sorry, I was trying to sip my coffee. How do you value somebody, but you love to make them feel as low as possible? You want them to feel as mediocre. And it's fine what you want. But if they choose, no, you're not finna make me feel mediocre. No, you're not finna hit on me. No, you're not finna devalue me. Because what's the opposite of value, guys? We're going to talk about value when I start talking about Kevin Samuels on the second half of this stream. And I will do a part two. Because like I said, to me, value cannot be placed on you by nobody. That's crazy to me. Even if, because I hate to go here, you got slave masters who could see more value in something like children. Because I did not ever, I'm not going to say he ever just bashed children, but to sit there and tell women, well, if you come into a relationship with 2 or 3 kids already, you've already devalued yourself. I definitely should have been. I think the world knows it. Or as they get to know me, they will know. And that's why I did have a lot of people. When he was around, even though I didn't know much about him, follow him and stuff like that, until people started doing it. Him and Derek Jackson. What's his name? There's people that know what I stand on or how I try to enlighten women, no matter what I've been through. But some know what I've been through. So yeah, they want to hear what I got to say. So they would be like, hey, you should check out what Kevin Samuels said last night. And that went on for a while he was around. So I'm not here to down his work. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about him in a minute. But the few streams I did listen to when he would be talking to women who probably were calling just to get more enlightened, that's precious in itself. Is this a black man? Because you don't see it often. You really don't. I'm sorry, that's the truth. You don't see this often, them creating a whole platform to edify black families. You just don't see this. So we respected him first for that, for what his original mission was. Look, I want to give quote unquote relationship advice. I want to help men see their worth, help women see their worth. Now that's commendable. Wouldn't y'all agree? Yeah, y'all agree. That's why he had 1 million subscribers. That's commendable. But see, when it got to the point and level of people, he got it set up where they could call or get on these video chats with him and everything on live. I can't even count how many times I heard him tell women, because they have kids. And I've been like this for so long. when I say what I'm about to say, like how I'll hear something I don't agree with, because you do have to pick and choose your battles. You do have to pick and choose what you're going to give your energy to, and what you're not. And some of us, we're learning to master that for real, because it's very real. The more I learn, like you go through things and then you get tired of looking back at your life saying, "Oh my God, I wasted so much time." I wouldn't devalue something I wasted time with. I'm not that's wasting my time too. To sit here and talk about all the things in life I feel like wasting my time. No, we're talking about the growth now. How it is important. I agree with him on that, to assess what you might be getting yourself into, just meeting a person or whatever. So yeah, he didn't say nothing wrong. But when you go, sir, as a black man, to telling women that they should pipe down with what they are looking for as far as elevating themselves, because they have kids. Because look, a lot of them have kids from a previous marriage. What you mean? What you now see? A mother is a mother, right? We know that how the anatomy of a woman works. uh we know what happens. We know how babies are created. We know how Mr. Kevin Samuels himself was created. Or do we we know how Krishan Rock and Blueface got here into the world, and we know how their new baby got here, straight up. Now, we can look at the value, like, oh, well, she's an ex-wife, she's probably more suitable for me because she has kids with an ex-husband. Like, he never went into details about that. He would just be like, yeah, you're coming. So I would never let a man call my kids baggage. This is just my opinion. Yeah, okay, baggage. And this has gone on for too many generations, too many years. That's why everything is like it is today. Can I get an amen, please? Oh, so now our offspring are baggage. That is crazy. I mean, any man come with kids, y'all want to call that baggage. Any woman come with kids, baggage. No other culture looks at their children that way. I mean, for the majority of most cultures, they don't do that. If anything, they have a system, they have an order. You know what I'm saying? They know who comes up next in the family, and they have plans and generational wealth and businesses they can pass down, right? I mean, I'm sure he spoke and touched on things like that for sure. Uh, who's not talking about generational wealth and how we can change the future? But if he was talking about those things, it kind of contradicts yourself, sir, to, what I'm saying, call yourself telling women that their kids is baggage. You know, and I started this off saying, rest in peace. And we saw what his mission was. Like I said, edifying the black household, relationships and stuff like that. It's commendable. I still stand on it about that brother. Now, like I said, I was going to make a few pointers where I felt like, he could have been more specific, because I do feel like some of his teachings during a time where domestic violence is at an ultimate high in the black community to begin with, in impoverished communities. I'm not just going to say black community, but in, less fortunate communities or whatever. You want to tell people this and that about their value. I don't see the logic. Now, like my channel, we're more make it clear, like, hey, and this shows, I'm gonna use this for example. We make it clear how we're trying to help people. We might have these topics like these, when it comes to booking business, not just the straight publishing and stuff all the time. We're actually trying to help you elevate as an independent. All right, woo, 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 woo. Then we can come over here and talk about relationships. See, it's an order to stuff. I heard he had like a mentorship program and stuff like this for but I heard it was just for young men. Y'all know these different rumors they got out here now. He was even possibly bisexual. And like I said, everybody think they want fame to that bright shining light. What they call it? Showtime light on the stage. Get shined on your life. Everybody want the spotlight, but they don't want the spotlight on the bones in the closet. That's anybody. The skeletons in the closet. So my opinion is that, sir, you're gonna try to tell a woman their value. If anybody ever showed me receipts of who this man probably really was, which I saw the receipts, um, you know, just like from his high school days and different stuff, it is kind of questionable, like how he would dress. It's crazy. I'm gonna let y'all go look into that for yourselves. Cause just cause somebody was on a cheerleading team in their past and stuff like that doesn't automatically make them, you know what I'm saying? I know people can be silly and funny with that. Maybe he did struggle with that. But see, that would have been more like commendable or real to me to tell people the truth about where you come from, Mr. Samuels. We seen that you were a quote unquote black man and you had a black children or child and maybe even dated black women in your life. So maybe he could have gave us more of a, you know, be real, be authentic with where you come from, sir. If you because it would make us understand where you're coming from with your opinions and stuff, sir. Most definitely. If I liked women, that's not something I would hide because I wouldn't feel like I'm living my truth, right? I just got to get this out real quick. Like, this is my opinion. I wouldn't feel like I'm living my truth for sure. I feel like I'm walking around with a mask trying to tell somebody about their value, but I'm scared to let people on my channel like Mr. Samuels expose that I might be in. See, I don't want to offend nobody. But there's already receipts and proof out here that this man was like with men and stuff like that. So it is what it is. It's just not, his preference and stuff is not my business. What his preference was, maybe he liked both. But if you're gonna get into just really calling yourself a professional relationship counselor, really got people, because y'all know words are powerful. You sitting here telling women, well, no, you got baggage or you're too big and stuff like this. So you should not want more for your life. That's practically what you're telling her when you tell her she should not be seeking after a high value man. That is crazy. I have, how can I put this? All I know is being authentic, being myself has gotten me far further in life because everybody don't just start out or come out the womb with connections and support and all of that, right? Let's put it like that. So how was I trying to put this? For sure, because he should have been more clear to me uh about why he feels like he's the person for the job to teach somebody their value. And we're not just saying just because he was a man or a black man or nothing like that. Sir, be specific. Are you practically telling women or telling men they should devalue a woman? I don't care at any point. That's awful. That's just an awful thing to do. I mean, because I could take this, everybody's not a Bible believer. I can take this to the Bible really quick. And anybody who's just like, hear it from me. Just hear it from me. Number one, King Solomon, a lot of people don't pay attention to this or whatever. He was a real king. He's a real king. There's historical proof of this king and everything. But in this Holy Bible book, there is a whole book called the Song of Solomon. Okay? And it's actually one of my favorite books, especially being a poet myself. It did nothing. I read it again recently, pregnant, because it's a very short book. It's one of the shortest books in the Bible, actually. Just reading his short excerpts of poetry, and I'm gonna tell y'all, the poetry King Solomon was writing, a man who knew his value for sure, was about love. Okay? So I don't care if it took a Mormon book, what book. I'm talking about the book that I'm referencing to today and how my perception on value and love, has changed drastically as I've grown. Right? I went and read a book like King Solomon for myself. I read that book and I'm like, wow. Okay. Another thing when I reference to the Bible, that's just, I encourage anybody to go read it. It'll blow your mind. He was actually a very talented writer, as was David and other kings, right? But and that's a question we can ask ourselves. Y'all know we love books and reading and writing over here. So it's like, Why were the kings back then? Writing was a big deal. They even said sometime you're a whole king to know your value, and you sitting writing about love. You probably got concubines and wives everywhere, but it's really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. Y'all should check out King David, King Psalms poetry. Sometime I call it poetry. Now the Bible might call them psalms, or like I said, Song of Solomon, right? Songs or psalms, right? This was another time, but I call it poetry. It's just a art, and yeah, you can learn a lot. Now with who else was I going to reference to in the Bible? Hosea. Hosea. Okay, Hosea was a man of God. There's a book in the Bible called Hosea, as a matter of fact, as well. Now, hold on one second, guys. I didn't know I would take it to the Bible about this, but I'm serious because I'm not through talking about Krishan Rock or Kevin Samuels. We're just tipping the iceberg right now. Okay. So Hosea was commanded by God himself. This is what I would have brought. I never heard any other woman. I heard all the women and what they were saying. It's like he just shut them down. Like, y'all are letting this man on video chat, or maybe you were paid to tell you your value, make you feel like you can't go get a high value man. And I thought it was comical, but it was sad at the same time. Like, I would look at it like, is this real? Right? Like I said, that's really my character. I hear and see stuff every day I don't agree with, and have been for a long time. And I do not choose to speak on or join the crowd to try to prove a point. I've never really been there. Look how he's passed on about a year and a half ago, a year now, and I'm just now giving my opinion on it. But this is really how I am and who I am. For real. I don't feel like, once again, authentic if I'm just doing it because people think I should get on there with my opinions with them. No, no. But then again, I think about it like, man, I would have been a great lady for him to talk to. Some of us been through some real things. I know his mom have, and some of the black women in Kevin Samuel's family. So, like, why would you go tell a woman she needs to pipe down, turn the notch down, a black woman of all women, when it comes to her standards? When it comes to her value? I never was okay with that, but I'm speaking on it now, and it has nothing to do with, oh, because he's not here anymore. No, but I do say it. Rest in peace. One second, guys. Got to rewarm my coffee up. I lost the top to my favorite mug, so what it does is get cold on me fast. So what I'm gonna do today is make sure that's another merch we'll have for you guys soon. The Crown Content Publishing uh mugs and coffee mugs are way overdue. Authors know we drink a lot of tea and coffee, don't we, writers, bloggers, uh, film script writers, lots of coffee. See, a lot of y'all think medical students and stuff like that are the only ones who probably drink coffee like that. Probably a lot of business owners and a lot of different, parts of business. So enough with the coffee though. I'm gonna talk about Kevin Samuels in a second. Back to Krishan Rock and Blueface though. They're a great example of maybe when it comes to looking from the outside in, how value you number one, you can see it on somebody. We're not talking about how they value somebody yet. We're talking about how they value themselves. You can see that on somebody just through who they with, because you get to know who they're with. And this is not true in every circumstance, because you got some people that do choose good people and people still good. They just are jealous. So they go throw salt on boom, boom, boom. But we know this is not the case with Krishan Rock and Blueface. There's been too many video footage of what be really going on in their relationship. And how he was holding some over her head. Watch this, y'all. I ain't gonna say this. To say that's one of my greatest fears would be stupid, because I don't really fear much anymore. The world surprises me every day. I'm more expecting the unexpected all the time. I learned to look at my quote unquote weaknesses and fears and truly want to get to know them better because we only fear what we don't know. Miss Krishan Rock. We only let what was that song? I know Tory Lanez. I think that was him. But he say, girl, you only you over because you let him. Do all I can just to show you special. Certainly it's your love and hold me together. Lately, what he say? Lately, you say he been killing the vibe. Gotta be sick of this guy. Pull up, skirt, get in the ride. Y'all know the song. Krishan Rock. All she need to do is listen to that. Listen to that song. Put it on repeat all day long if she need to. Cause like let them words click. Another man knows it. A man sang that song, produced that song. And that's what I was about to talk about when it comes to social media influence. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up because I was gonna save that for what I was gonna bring out when we talk about Mr. Kevin Samuels. But technology and social media, everybody knows this by 2023 definitely has shaped the new culture that we call culture today in America when it comes to relationships. So, I mean, I don't know if Mr. Kevin Samuels ever spoke on it for sure or whatever, but I'm going to when we talk about something like value. In the day and age we live in, I'm telling y'all, you are literally valued through how many likes you get, how many hearts you get, how many subscribers you have. But literally, if I know who I am, because I'm gonna use me for example, because I'm on many platforms and stuff. I use social media, and I've seen my potential. It's like I became an influencer, and I wasn't trying to. This is long before I was writing books and boom, boom, boom. I don't know if it's just how I look. I took good pictures, or the quote unquote post captions showed my mind a little bit, right? One of my favorite quotes, self-made quotes was that I cannot defeat the odds if the cards I'm dealt are always even. It was posts like that, we get 115, 200 likes or something like that, but it had nothing to do with my value. Or I didn't let those like, if not one person liked it, I still was going to believe what I believe, what I said, what I posted. I cannot defeat the odds if all the cards I'm dealt are always even. Because y'all know in the card game now, nobody knows what cards they're getting. We just know everybody get their fair share of the same number of cards, don't they? Her hand might look like, a few jokers, some aces, a 7, a 5, and a 3. Same thing with dominoes, but I chose to use cards because anybody could catch on to an analogy like that. How are you going to defeat the odds? But if you already look at life like, man, everything's supposed to come to me easy. Every relationship's supposed to be easy. Everybody come in my life supposed to value me. Well, that's your perception. Mine, I can't defeat the odds. That means I'm already prepared for the odds. I know odds are going to come. I'm going to have odd numbers. I'm going to have even numbers in my, not just in my deck of cards, but in my hand, in the hand that I'm dealt. Because this is how card games work. You're going to be dealt a certain hand. And you don't get to choose it, do you? So that's what we're talking about when we go back to childhood trauma. What shapes our perception of relationships long before we're even old enough to get in them? Don't tell me I don't know. Actually, a long time ago, for a while, I used to be like, man, I'm not having kids. I'm never having kids. I said that for a long time. But boy, I can't go nowhere. I can't go nowhere today, like since I've had kids, without somebody being like, where the girls? That's how closely knitted me and my kids are. And my kids probably don't know that. I don't know. But they're getting to an age where they ask me a lot of questions. So it's like a very fun mommying time for me. They'll ask questions like, Mommy, what did you look like? Or, I'm just giving y'all an example. Like, Mommy, what did you look like in high school? It's so cute. They're only like 8, 9, and 12. And they're girls. I'm like, oh, yeah, y'all want to see some middle school pictures? Whatever. That's love though. You know what I'm saying? Like who is my mom? Even if it's kids, who is Tetta Sherry? They, mom, we see you with your books, we see you with your podcast, we see how much you love us, but what was life before us? They're getting to the age. And it's crazy. I was have a lot to share with them. Even my family probably if they ever asked them, and cuz who I always was never changed. What I probably did is dim my light a little bit along the way, make some sacrifices that I never had to make, shift and adjust to motherhood, but I never really changed. I was always into joining different groups, organizations, and before Facebook had groups. When I say that, I mean like in my school, like clubs and activities. Just was, I don't know if it was the anxiety in me. I always had to stay active. Um, some of us we've learned that about ourselves, and that's has a lot to do with value too, because you have to know yourself. If staying busy keeps your mind out of an idle place, keeps you out of trouble, staying positively busy, then that's what works for you, right? And nobody should be trying to devalue that. I don't care who you are out there. I don't care if it's your boyfriend, but we were talking about relationships and value. And my opinion on why, not just a man, but nobody. I'm not going to let them, they're still going to have their opinion of my value, right? I don't like feeling like I'm working hard to prove that to nobody. So I don't see how people do that in relationships, but that's my personal opinion. It's my personal expression and view on the relationship culture that I live in today. Would I say that's a reason that I'm single or something? Probably so. I don't know. Y'all know how when you're dating or just got a lot of friends or whatever, people be like, "Why you single?" That's one of their first or they'll say something like, you too pretty. I don't believe that. You got a boyfriend somewhere or this and that. Women know and we get that sometimes, right? Especially when we're mothers. But what I won't tolerate, like, let's say I met a man like Kevin Samuels. He's not the only high class man in the world who considers himself that. They're out here in the everyday world for real. And I've met many of them. But I'm talking about my real mentality as a black woman. We're not all the same. And then the ones that might still be trying to grow and learn, I'm not here to knock them and put them down. It's a way that you say things. So, like I said, I do feel like his mission was positive to begin with, but the way you were delivering your message, a lot of us make a mistake with that sometimes. So you're misunderstood. That's why I said I should have just got on his show and talked to him, like I'm talking on my stream today. Because I would have had some real questions like, where do you come off that you could tell any woman? I don't know how the stream would have went, because I'm a very outspoken person, really, when I want to be. Because I'm very passionate about certain topics, situations, circumstances. And then again, sometimes your silence is louder than your outspokenness. And this is coming from an outspoken person. You know what I'm saying? My silences, I can say that, are always intentional. If I disappear from a platform, it was very intentional. I mean, now the reason of it might not have been intentional, but like I say, we have to be conscious and aware of our choices, even in who we choose to date, who we have a relationship with. Kevin Samuels didn't say nothing wrong, but sir, you mentioned a word like value. Each and every, I mean, mostly on all of his relationship topics when he was talking to women. And I just found something fishy with that. Like, I might be tripping. Because, I mean, if y'all like it, I love it. And this man had many followers. But y'all know how it is. The real, though, it take people. Nobody want to follow them until it's popular, too. I already know it. I done took down pages, put up pages. I'm talking about when it comes to social media. Took down books, republished them, put them back out there. And that's how it goes. If you don't believe me, talk to what did we talk about yesterday? That's why we reverence to a lot of celebrities on this channel. If you listen to Mo3 when they're rapping, Little Boosie, artists, actors, even Mr. Denzel Washington himself, ask him what his story was before he became a great. One of the what? Denzel Washington's at the top of the chain of actors. Y'all better go back and listen to that speech. He did a speech at a college graduation. I don't know what year, but it's a very popular, video because it's Denzel Washington speaking. But that don't mean all his life that he was able to get booked to come, speak at things and stuff like that, right? No, sometimes that's how it is. With people who are destined to do great things in life, Miss Krishan Rock, sometimes it's not popular to support you to everybody else doing it. It's not, it's not even in nobody brain because nobody wants to be the one like, I'm telling y'all, I see people value. I have a different type of eye or something. To me, you don't know my value. You don't know your own. If you are scared to support me because not everybody's doing it yet or something, right? I'm going to look at it like that in the future, like I do now. And like I learned from my past. So I'd rather be authentic, right? I've seen channels that didn't have much followings. This is my real experience. Share the channel. And a lot of my followers who won't even subscribe, or I guess they just be watching in the background, but they'll go subscribe to a channel that I share, because I like it. It's crazy. But this is what I noticed. You'd be like, oh, okay, she shared that. Let me go see who channel that is, what they talking about, and subscribe. Well, that is the goal when I share somebody's stuff, to support them, because I feel like everybody just, like I say, I just like to be more authentic. I put my own expressions and views no matter who thinks it's popular or not. Because in Miss Krishan Rock's instance, at first it seemed like, I don't know, I guess it's just popular now to support her because any woman could probably relate to being with a man who doesn't see your value, right? We've all been there. We've all been there. Or a man being with a man who would try to make you feel like the value of another woman is more precious than yours by going in between you two all the time, like Blueface does. So I think at this point, Krishan is over the whole, oh, he went back to his baby mama, whatever they got going on. Because see, now they both baby mamas. We talking about value though. And then how we had those two young people, Blueface and Krishan Rock, have heard of Kevin Samuels too. I'm sure. Even his mama. If her family ain't heard, I know Miss Carlissa, what's her name? I know she's heard of who Kevin Samuels is. Now, how she chose to raise her son, what she teaches her son, how she handled her son is her business, right? But I know she had to been embarrassed to see him do that. That's crazy. We're talking about value. They know who Kevin Samuels was and what he taught about and everything, but it's like, ma'am, your son is literally all over social media being exposed for coming after a woman. Now, this man is got money. Cause that's what I'm finna go deep. I told y'all this just the tip of the iceberg right now. Cause I'm finna go into details about my opinion of value, how it should be assessed, and boom, boom, boom. Because to some people, value is just like materialistic, tangible, physical things. Okay, so what is Blueface a high value man, Mr. Kevin Samuels? Because he got money. He don't need a woman for anything. He's actually gonna say that every chance he get. Because that's what somebody with a God complex mentality does. And it's not just men who walk around with these type of mentalities. Women struggle with that too, trying to be the power, wear the pants or whatever y'all call it, all the time in their relationships and all this. I know his mother has to be like, Blueface mom. She's quick to jump on her about everything this couple does, right? And she didn't have the best history with Miss Krishan Rock, but it's like, yeah, and I'm gonna go watch her videos when I get off of her because I heard she's been out here talking or whatever. I didn't want to hear what she had to say. I'm still stuck on the fact that you're willing to unbuckle your baby's diaper, take a picture of their genitals, to shame, to humiliate as if you're going to talk noise to your baby mama, do that. Why put the baby in it? So he's truly, 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 if what he was doing to her before and then going in between them women all the time and all that did not show his immaturity. That did, because that's his very seed. Now let's go back. A lot of people were saying, well, he told her he didn't want her to have a baby, right? All right, it goes back to this with women, her body, her choice, blah, blah, blah. I respect her already. I know she's not the perfect mother because I'm really am kind of, I saw that at Walmart, the baby hang. She didn't even have a baby in her right and stuff like that, right? It's like, when does somebody plan on stepping in that baby life to help? This really does happen in the Black community. They got their phones out recording this young lady on her Walmart trip. Now, me, average commoner, with my baby though, I just choose to take her in a stroller. And if she was like my homegirl, a personal friend, that's something that a real friend would try to help you with. So I don't know who's like surrounded, who she call her friends and homegirls and stuff, but anybody that was supposed to be there to me, if I need a babysitter for an hour, not that I leave my kids with anybody, I've been offered plenty of babysitting help sometimes and decline it. It don't mean you got a problem with that person, but I need to know you very well to leave my children with you, right? Look how well she thought she knew that man she just had a baby by. Yet this man does that to embarrass you. I don't know if he's going to jail. I said that, but she can definitely sue him for that. Maybe he just don't care no more. He sees that what he's been doing, going in between both women, blah blah blah. Like, I feel her as a woman. You already didn't let the man come to the hospital. You went and had your baby, because he's been crying about that on social media. But you went and had your baby and everything. You didn't want him in the room, so you have a peaceful delivery. They prayed over the baby. She went and had the baby baptized. Like, that's respectable, commendable stuff. And it's just like a narcissist or God complex mentality person, ain't it? For them to know you're healing in 6 weeks, six to 8 weeks, sometimes 10 weeks. Let me tell y'all some statistics say, really within the first 3 months after a baby, you need to be careful, like really, really careful. Before you get back to exercising, moving too fast, all of that. You can still have a setback, I think up to 6 months. Up to 6 months after birth. Do men know this? Did Blueface know that before he tried to exploit her on social media with his own baby's genital? Like, what kind of stuff is that? Y'all can go look it up. Because he didn't just put a picture. He called himself posting words and going off on her. Like, sir, that make you and that mama his is always on social media talking noise look very, very questionable. Because, Blueface brother came out and said recently some more stuff about their mom. I don't know what he going through with her. Not Blueface. Blueface got a brother, apparently. And, like I say, I don't keep up with celebrity gossip to gossip. Like, I see what I can learn from them. Because these are people, they don't have the same worries as us. Yeah. They got money, 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 money. Because we're talking about value, right? And my only assessment of Mr. Kevin Samuels versus my opinion is that's it. That's it. Let me go ahead and say it. His opinion of value is only materialistic. I'm sorry. What he was teaching, it's like your value, you only have value or not have value based off how many kids you have and what your money look like. That's practically what I heard him saying. What's your weight? All physical, tangible stuff, like your net worth, your career. Okay, I've heard other men say like they told the truth, because I was on a podcast where they told the truth. It was a panel full of men. They said, look, a man really deep inside don't care about where a woman work. We could care less about that. If we're coming to approach you to get in your pants, like, we might entertain a conversation with you, talk about our work a little bit, but that's not what's going to keep a man, ladies. And this came out of a man's mouth recently, openly on the podcast. And, he got a very big following. So I believe a lot of these men off the rip, they just God complex mentality people. Like, One minute you're saying you want a woman who knows what she wants. I've heard it all. Okay. So she go put on a lace front that she thinks is cute. It makes her feel good. She likes it. So she knows what she wants. She paid for the hair. She paid for the hairstylist. She paid the hairstylist. Where is it a man's place to say, you don't need to wear weave. That devalues you. You ain't got no value. You got bundles in your hair. Like, you see what I mean? They are placing tangible, physical, you know what I'm saying, things with value. I see what's wrong with my culture then. I see what's wrong with this generation. And then see, Mr. Samuels is like way older than myself. He's older than a lot of the youngsters in this generation. So I'm having y'all to look at something. What was he teaching? That's just one person. That's one person. If he was somebody daddy, ain't no telling what with a son anyway, what he's telling them on how to find the right woman, how to properly assess value. I mean, it's their business, but if he had a son, ain't no telling what he was telling. So I only bring that up because younger people don't know better. When we look at Krishan Rock and Blueface, if they didn't have a better example, and his mama can jump on there all she want to, trying to talk about Krishan and all this. She's staying relevant just being his parent, by the way. She gets views, she has followers, and people do listen to her, what she be having to say. Ever since they found out Krishan Rock beat her up, it's crazy. It's so toxic. What I can say, I'm not going there over no man. Fighting his mama, fighting his sister, cousin, baby. It's your cousin. It's your son. It's your baby daddy. You can have him. You had him before I came around. What I'm going to do? Fight? I don't know. I don't see how that edifies my life. If anything, I think that takes from my value to stoop as low as a dog, a snake, because a dog is not low enough. Now, what's lower? An ant. Just to stoop to that level. Low, 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 low. To prove, oh, that's my man. This is my man. Now, I'm not here to disrespect Krishan Rock about that. We see she's a whole different type of person for me. Probably even a different horoscope, everything. I know we're different ages. She's probably much younger, but I have little sisters her age. And before you take a picture of this young lady with the baby hanging out of the baby carrier on it, like, which one of y'all stepped up to help her? Like I said, if she was my homegirl or sister, I would just give my advice. I couldn't make her take it. But sis, hey, I got 4. It was always easier for me to put them babies in a stroller. If I'm gonna go to the grocery store and I'm not even a celebrity, you can put the whole car seat in there. The baby cry while you shopping. I'm talking about inside of the stroller. If the baby's crying or whatever while you're shopping, it's simple. You can still give them their bottle or go to the restroom, breastfeed, whatever. But grocery shopping can still be done. Or I would tell her, hey, sis, you do remember we have Walmart delivery these days? Because somebody in the comments was like, she got all that money. She could have had her groceries delivered. Well, y'all got to remember, they are celebrities. Maybe they don't want everybody coming to the door to deliver stuff, right? So I thought about that, too, in her defense. But even if she don't want to Instacart, DoorDash, and do all that, you do have the money, Miss Krishan, because you want to keep the media out of your business as much as possible. This is what I would be telling her as a big sister, or friend, or whatever. Keep them people out your. Have your assistant go with you to the store, sis. You don't have an assistant. The news and social media, everybody talking about how you're a millionaire now or whatever. You don't need Blueface money, right? What's wrong with hiring a driver? These are the best times for you to do that, sis. This is your first baby and the baby's still small, right? Hire you a nanny, sis. I didn't mean to say assistant, a nanny. That way, even if you need to go to the grocery store, what's wrong with the baby? I mean, y'all know how it is. Probably hard to trust people, even a nanny. This is her very first baby. So I believe from the bottom of her heart, she was trusting Blueface to do the right thing. When she let the baby go around him or whatever. But look what this man do. Look what he do, y'all. I mean, now she's saying, and that was the main reason I'm bringing him up, because what I'm finna say. I commented on something earlier. I said, man, all I know, you don't play with a woman. Number one, a woman never forgets how you treated her pregnant. It's just that. It don't matter if she got 3 baby daddies, because y'all want to say this takes from a woman value. Ain't nothing wrong with her knowing her value and saying, no, I will not forget how I was treated while I was pregnant with your child, right? We're not trying to create bitter women out here or nothing, but I'm just speaking the facts. Women gonna remember that. And then if it's her first baby, she sure ain't finna forget. So why y'all want to take all your hope and faith away from Miss Krishan Rock and her baby finna be took? That's cool, but remember this that I said. If it took that baby being born, I still see Mama Bear on here. I see a young lady who is inexperienced, probably didn't have, much love herself, little. She don't know what she doing. Okay. Is she trying to hide that? Y'all so quick to exploit something though. She ain't never tried to hide it. She's hurt. She's going through. She's heartbroken. She had a man abusing her all the time. Even when she leave him, he's trying to control her business ventures, her business deals. He's bashing her on every platform he can, trying to make her jealous with these other pictures and videos with his other baby mama. Like, I feel where she coming from. And like I said, where is her family and friend, these people, right? And she got money, because y'all want to talk about value. I mean, Kevin Samuels wanted to. She got money, he got money. So what is value? What was the value Kevin Samuels was talking about? She's beautiful, she's not fat. Okay. She even was willing to fight his mama over him. So what is value really, Mr. Kevin Samuels? Like, we're just going to make it a tangible physical thing, how much money? Ooh, toxic is toxic, Mr. Samuels. Toxic is toxic, whether your value speaks 100,000 behind your net worth or your education. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know what his opinions were, but I know what the real common men out here are saying. They could care less about where you work, what you look like. I mean, to some men, really, that's all they out for. What was Lauryn Hill's song? That thing, that thing, that thing. Y'all remember? See, it might take a woman some time, because something like that hurt when she discovers it. She's still young. Oh, man, he was just around for that thing. And to use me for, views and to be on his show or whatever. Because he throws that in her face a lot. Like, oh, I made you. Sir. Slow down. We saw her potential. We saw, even if she didn't remain an athlete before meeting you, sir, she could have went the modeling direction without you. You know what I'm saying? She's familiar with California too. I mean, but y'all see, she puts him in his place different ways. She be trying to fight him and all this. That's her. That's not how I would, if I was her friend or sister. No, I would have told her to withdraw her energy from that situation a long time ago. Now, is that hard to do once you find out you're pregnant? Most definitely. That's where you see, actually, through those times, Miss Krishan Rock, and until your baby one, that's who that's the time that you're really going to learn. It's not just about motherhood. It's the growth that comes with it. Look how all of a sudden she not playing with him no more. She's out there saying, hey, he needs to go to jail. It took him exploiting y'all baby's genitals on social media. But what I'm saying is, let's slow down with the critique against Miss Krishan Rock. Sometimes it takes that last straw anyway. Let me tell y'all something about statistics. Statistics say the average battered woman goes back at least 7 times. Did y'all know that? At least. But I don't know how factual these statistics are. It makes sense. Because if you've been manipulated and trained, to feel like even abuse is love, it probably will take a lot to wake you up and leave that relationship. And a lot of y'all women been there, so I don't know why y'all be judging her so hard. It's crazy. Like, y'all just, but what more can we help with? I know she reads the comments, she sees the podcast. She has money. I don't know. Are y'all her fan club and everything? Do y'all ask her, is there a place you can donate a stroller? Whoop, whoop, whoop. I would assume she don't need anything tangible. She got money, right? But this is what we talk about when it comes to value. Now he want to talk about how bad of a mom she is. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sir, don't you think you should have been thinking about that before you're making whole sex tapes with her and putting them on OnlyFans and stuff? Because it makes you look a certain way. This how men think though. They just, I mean, or this way that he's trying to manipulate her right now. Men have gotten away with that for so long. They're not understanding we're in a new time. Social media will have your ass exposed all over the world. You know, so they can play the same type of games or whatever, but people not playing that type of stuff no more. It shows your emotional immaturity when you can't just walk away. I'm sorry. When you can't just walk away, you choose crime, you choose violence, you choose humiliation, you choose slander, and what's that other word? Defamation of Krishan's character. Let me tell y'all why he does that. You know, and hopefully she don't get back with a man like him, because you see that too with battered women. They will leave one abusive relationship and end up, you know what I'm saying, this a whole nother person. It'd be a whole nother person. So I'm already kind of praying for her on that note too. I think people just want to see her happy, you know, in a healthy relationship, but we have to remember that trauma is very real. So she can very well continue to attract abusive men. That's a whole possibility. But if I'm, because people be like, oh, I'm praying for her and their baby. What are y'all prayer points? What are you saying? Well, God give her the strength to leave that man. Do y'all ever pray that God change Blueface? Like, what kind of Christians are you guys? I don't know. Or don't speak on there. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, because I know that about about those type of relationships, I do pray that she gives herself some time. Like right now with that little baby, she needs that time to heal for sure. And if she needs a lawyer to make that clear to Blueface, because sir, it's just straight up. It's illegal to stalk. It's illegal to defame her character. I was saying I was gonna tell y'all why he does that part. His main mission, every time you turn around, he talking about how she's this and that, like very, very low vibrational type comments about the mother of his child. That shows more. I don't know if his mama don't be telling him more about, and I feel like that mama she's secretly been sitting back waiting on him to fall anyway. She's mad because he put her out the mansion and chose Krishan to begin with, and that same girl beat her up before, all this different stuff, right? Mm. I do. That's why I have that opinion. I just feel like his mom already on some bitter stuff, and that's a problem. A lot of men don't be seeing it. They don't see that at all. Like, your toxicity or whoever you are, how you are, definitely starts at home. Definitely starts at home. So my heart just goes out to her because that's her grandchild. And if she was any type of real stand-up grandma, I don't know. They don't really show her life a lot with his other two kids or whatever. But it's like, for the one he just had, like, I know she got to be embarrassed. Like, you spent more time speaking on that girl while she was pregnant than probably supporting her. Now you're embarrassed because it's not Krishan this time. Krishan is now a mother. Krishan is now a co-parenter. I'm talking about Blueface mama. Krishan is still a woman, got the same female organs Blueface mama got. That's crazy. That's what I be talking about with mamas. They know what it's like for a man to do this and that to you after you have his baby. But they still continue to, I don't know, push these generational cycles for some reason. And it's awful. And how are they doing that? We're pretty much however they do it, because I don't have a son, but it's like they want to control the narrative, how women look, what type of woman. How is that healthy when your son's a grown man? All you can do is give him your opinion, but if you're a real mom and you see that girl make him happy or something, you should stay out of their business. Oh my goodness. This is the generation culture we live in today. That's my opinion. Blueface mama seemed like one of them. She do. She seemed like she was always jealous of their relationship. We don't know what I'm saying, y'all. We got to go back to the beginning. We don't know what Krishan, how, what type of relationship she probably attempted to have with that woman. What she's already tried. All everybody want to talk about is like, yeah, y'all know she missing a tooth. She got in that bad fight, and he fought her family and all of that, right? Has anybody asked what led up to that? That's why I stand from afar and just look at mamas. I'm tired of people with that, like playing like mothers don't have a lot of influence on their grown children. I said I was going to do a part two so I can look a little more often to Kevin Samuel's mother. See, before you judge the book, that's crazy. But people do it. They judge it by the cover. They see Krishan acting out and needing help and all of this, and they're just going to judge. Now, she told y'all what she been through in her childhood. So, yeah, she got a lot of... See, Miss Krishan Rock, we're not... Nobody's like insensitive to what you've been through, sis. It's just that we'll more see your growth. We'll more believe in the growth. We know that a baby does that. Us with kids already know that. But it's like, we know we'll just more believe that you're more serious about your own career, your own life, and all of that stuff. Once you give yourself that time to heal, you know, you got to show signs of it. Now, that's step number one. Okay, you say you're done with Blueface, right? It's not our business, but we're talking about value real quick. My thing is, if you're through with them, that's cool. Like to me, you know, other people might not give her brownie points for that, but walking away from him, it takes a lot of strength, and you just had that man baby. Y'all women out here better play. Stop playing like y'all haven't been through that. Judging her, it's crazy to me. You know, it's not real. It's not authentic at all. But you know, people just be feeling like they can talk because they're celebrities. You know, nobody knows their personal business. So they just be on there commenting, oh, that girl and this and that, right? If Krishan Rocks ever comes across my stream, this is what I have to say to her, man. Don't let what people are saying about your weaknesses right now affect you. Though you should work towards growth. I mean, and this might be the very grace God is giving you to at this time in your life, because when it comes to domestic violence relationships, a lot of women, Miss Krishan Rock, do not make it out of it. So it's never funny to me, or it's never just been drama to laugh at and entertainment. To me, I look at with those type of relationships on that level, with people with money like that, I like to see what I can learn. Now I know what I've been through when I only had certain options. I know what I've been through when I know I didn't know my value. I know what I've been through, right, when I didn't have support. But that's different when I got this type of money like Krishan Rock and Blueface, right? You know, that's what I'm saying about what Kevin Samuels was teaching. How's money automatically uh dictate your value? Hmm. You got celebrity women get disrespected every day by their own husbands and boyfriends. Y'all better wake up. But these are supposed to be people who what with lots of value, according to Kevin Samuels. High class. So yeah, that's a lot of what he talks about. Class, not just value. I remember mentioning him because he'll say high class man or woman. Really wish I would have got on his show and just, you know, it just would have been an interesting segment. Because my first question would be like, well, what is high value to you? What is high class to you? So I can when somebody asks me a question, that's something I really do. I want to make sure that the question is, I understand it. I used to didn't always be like that. Yeah, I was probably like a lot of other young quick snappers. You know what I'm saying? It was just what I thought off the rip. I'm giving my opinion off top. I'm not taking any critique. But as I got older and growth came in the picture, and I value my life more, I don't choose to jump. I always have the quickest answer when somebody asks me a question. No, I want to understand your question. So, sir, if you're telling me, if you ask me, do I know my value? And I ask you what is value to you, a lot of men are try to switch in and say, oh no, you can't answer a question with a question. Yes, you can. And these type of topics, I believe it's actually very important that you do. Because Mr. Kevin Samuels' perception of value might have been different from Teddy Sherry's, right? Um, which his was different from a lot of people's. That's why people got on his show to uh pretty much debate him about it. But like I said, I never did. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna keep saying that either because I just want to respect what him and his family, what his family might be going through and their grievances and things like that. But they know what type of work he did and how his opinion differed from many different people. I'm just coming out a little later, right, with my expressions, views, and comments about his teachings on value, right? For sure. Pour me some more coffee. One thing about this coffee though, it will have you run into the restroom. And I don't mean to number two, just yeah, it just run right through you sometimes. Not I didn't mean to say it like that, but yeah, like I said, I'm authentic. I'm real. I put it out there and put it out there. Uh so yeah, y'all, like I still wish Miss Krishan Rock the best. I really do be praying for her like she's a little sister or something. Because I do have young sisters her age. Um, I've had a few friends actually like go through what she's going through. This is how real it is. I know women right now going through what she's going through. The only difference between her is that, like I said, her status is a little higher because her money worth and all this. I ain't gonna say her worth, but her net worth and stuff like that changed. So that's why I say I would have to ask him a question like that if I was ever on his show like that. And we're about to talk about value. It would have been interesting. I'd have been like, okay, well, I have to know that, Mr. Samuels. Don't hit me with that. Don't answer a question with a question. That's the type of woman I am. I have to clarify the question so I can give you my most authentic answer. Straight up. That's how I am. That's not answering a question with a question. If you ask me a question about what's my value, sir, or you ask me questions about my life, and according to my answers, you think you're finna sit here and man, Mr. Kevin Samuels would have been arguing. That's why I never got on there, probably. You think you're finna tell me my value because you done asked a series of questions like where I work, how many kids I got. You see me with some weave in my hair. Didn't now I know men that say they love a woman, like I said, who know what she want. Now, if I went and bought me some red bundles and wanted them blonde in the front, then I knew what I wanted. See, that's why I said I have to clarify people questions before I answer them. Because sometimes I need to know the motive of your question. I mean, and like with his, I knew his motives. Everybody saw it on his lives. Like, you're gonna break these women down, find out a little more about them, and then you think you're gonna tell them their value. And a lot of them took your word for it, sir. No man, not just Mr. Kevin Samuels, no man or woman to me can put that on me. We live in an age where your value, like I said, is the likes you got, the following, how big, how many people like your music. Okay, if that's what value is, why do you have people like Blueface, a whole famous man? To me, that he's not a man of value. I'm sorry, he's not a man of class. I wouldn't care how many millions he got in the bank. And I really, really do feel like this today. I feel like this just as a commoner in the world, because as a woman, we've seen it time and time again. A man will showcase this, flaunt this, and it ain't yours. I don't know. I'm a little more mature than that. It's called emotional maturity, right? Like, I don't covet anything anybody has. I think that's value about me, about my character. I can see somebody with a Benz. I might still say, man, I want one of those one day, but I don't covet it. I'm not jealous of it. I'm trying to learn how I can get on your level. And then this is how valuable I am. If it's just anything you doing to get your money, you're not finna catch Teddy Sherry around you. Sorry. That sounds just stupid. But you got a lot of people in this generation, they don't care what that man do. Long as the money there. And this is what people consider value. But then they don't understand when the time and everything go down and everything come out, it's like, oh wow, I'm in trouble with him. I wasn't doing. Baby, it's called affiliation. That's your man. Of course they're gonna bring you in for questioning. But y'all willing to be down with everything. It's stupid. Krishan Rock. Now look, Him going back to that other baby mama and she was trying to throw that all in Krishan Rock's face. Now, y'all know the story. What just happened with Blueface and Alexis kids. And I hope they get him back soon. He needs to go to parenting classes or something because they say he had the boy with strippers. Y'all know. They all over the news right now. So it looks like for revenge, he's now trying to get her child. It's just stupid, stupid, toxic cycles that, yes, of course, could have been avoided had she just left Blueface alone a long time ago, right? Now, like we said, statistics show the average woman go back at least 7 times. So, okay. Now, y'all counted. She done went back to him way more than 7 times. But they say it's called something. It's like you get addicted to the abuse. It's something like that. What do they call it, y'all? There's a term for it. It's not that the woman don't know it's wrong or that she's not trying to build up the strength to leave him alone or something. It's like, dang, I can't even think of the term. They got a whole term for this, though. It's like a condition. you just end up, you know what I'm saying, taking abuse, staying around, accepting that it's love. But you know it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Women real life be going to therapy and counseling for that. And and I commend them. That's what I'm talking about. We commend the ones that know they have a problem and go get help for sure. We should more commend those, right? Like if we saw Will Smith go get help, if that was on the news, which they haven't showcased much, unless I haven't seen it. Let's say we all heard Will Smith went and got help after he slapped Chris Rock, but I ain't heard about it. That's just different. We might have heard he gave out apologies and, he might have lost some things, but like, Will, really, it's not our business, but are you going to therapy, sir? You slapped that man in broad daylight on a stage on national television. Nobody had ever done that, okay? And this, I don't know, some still say it was an act. You never know, right? When they're actors to begin with. But if they wanted us to believe this is real, why is this man not? Look at our examples. I'm telling y'all. Oh, so you're Will Smith. You don't need to go to therapy. You and your wife don't need marriage counseling. Or maybe they have been 3 or 4 times. Yeah, Krishan Rock, people get off your back if we see you doing stuff like that. Like we are encouraging your growth, sis. Like, we don't see you going to counseling. We don't see you getting with a tribe of strong women to encourage. Maybe she do, because we did see them praying in that hospital room. I saw that live. And I think that's beautiful, right? A beautiful way for your baby to be brought into the world, covered with the prayers of the Lord. And she went and had the baby baptized and everything. I commend her for that. I think people see her potential and her change happening as it's happening too. Yeah. She dedicated her baby to the Lord. She knows she's not perfect. Which, man, it's too many mothers out here picking on that young lady. And like I said, Blueface grandmother, I'm sorry, his mother, which is the baby's grandmother, she should be very, very, it's okay to be ashamed of your child's behavior. We don't have enough of that today. That's the problem. Everybody's quick to defend their child. Nobody's saying, you know what, my child need his whole butt whoop. You know what I'm saying? My daughter need her whole butt whoop, but she a grown woman. It's just a statement, but it's like, it's nothing wrong with expressing that. Look, I didn't raise my son that way, Krishan, and apologizing to that woman, to his baby's mother and stuff like that. But it did say she's been coming out, talking to Krishan, trying to, like that or whatever. I just know she has to be embarrassed. Like, this man is, And now everybody's saying it, not just Krishan, like, he needs to go to jail. See, people don't play about kids. You got the stupid ones that do, they play with you and your kids. But, majority of the world still does not play about kids, sir. That baby is like 3-4 weeks old. Why are you taking pictures of his genitals and talking, and put a post caption to shame your baby mama? Yeah, he needs help too. So, right. To me, ain't no sin, just like to God. That's why I say that ain't no sin greater than the other. So I don't know. Y'all don't get too hyped up talking about them. Because a lot of us have a past. A lot of us still have a future, and it's called karma. So we just I always try to look at celebrities and see what I can learn from them. Yeah, I might have $1 million one day. Or a little more. But like I said, I would want to know my value or worth long before then, right? You only gonna put up with something for so long. Now I'm about to be through talking about them, so I can go into this Kevin Samuels topic real quick. But it's like, what was I finna say about Krishan Rock? Whew, man, my heart, like I can feel that. You can. It was very hard to watch. She's asking somebody in the background where what she should do. Why is this happening to her? How do you explain in a nice way that he just exploited y'all child? Yeah, I don't know. So I can only imagine. But my main point was sometimes with women, it take this. But Miss Krishan Rock, it shouldn't. Sometimes it's worse, ma'am. One of them kids get hurt, or you as a woman don't make it out that relationship alive. This not a game why everybody laughing on social media talking about, oh, what they fighting about this time, blah, blah, blah. These gonna be the same people like, oh, R.I.P. Krishan Rock, something tragic happened. Because this is how humans are. They're gonna play like, oh man, that's so tragic. You know, that's why I say these mamas, they gotta do better. How y'all gonna talk about the type of mama she is? Was y'all around to show her how to be? Who was there while she was pregnant? Looked like she was stressing over him the whole time. It's stupid. But now we want to critique how she taking care of the baby. This is the real world we live in. This is our generation. This is society as we know it. Until we have more voices speak up. Now the voices are just the voices, but hopefully we get enough voices to bring change. They were talking about what they call it last summer, implementing that into the law. What was it called? Unborn child support. I did a whole segment on it. I did a podcast segment on it last summer. And I really never followed that story to see what the country have decided. But we're going into a time, gentlemen, who like to go talk down on the ladies they sleep with in secret, right? Go talk down on them. There's coming a time. It don't matter if y'all gonna be sneaking around. It's like even the government is starting to see this as a problem. People's lust issues, people's greed of sex or whatever, right? To the point where they are, it looks like in the future, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I did hear they could do blood tests while the baby is still inside of the womb. If these women go, or men go, well, I'm gonna say women because they call it unborn child support. Y'all can go Google this. Something they were proposing last year. But like I said, I didn't follow it, so I never saw what this was around the same time the Roe versus Wade laws were being changed. Referencing abortion laws, right? They also came up with something called unborn child support. It's crazy. And that would be crazy. I just hope that people are paying attention out here. Because, like, why keep going to lay oats and seeds everywhere when something like that is coming anyway? Child support already, I heard, is not fun. But then they're talking about unborn child support. These pregnant women will be able to go to the doctor. Apparently, the doctors will be able to do these blood tests, these DNA tests. They ain't got to wait till the baby here no more. See, everybody loves social media and technology until the times are changing for real. It's helping us to be able to do this. People are like, oh, the new age of technology. We have so much more knowledge today. Oh, y'all know we really do. They're constantly making new machines, new medical products, I heard they got another vaccine. There's a whole nother virus out here. Like, this is not a game. The laws, I'm gonna speak for the people for a second. We the people. When we the people, because I don't want to talk about the government. I want to talk about we the people. When we the people are acting like animals, we don't know how to, we don't know how to wrap it up. We don't know how to quit. Come on now. We don't know how to take care of our children. We're abandoning, and all these women are needing government benefit. Don't you think they were eventually going to come up with a solution for this mess? Yeah, we're living in a generation like people like me who feel like me. They're becoming lawyers. They're the new doctors. We're in a new generation, guys. It's time to wake up. Smell the coffee. Let me take another sip of mine real quick. For real. But that's something I saw then. Unborn child support. Everybody else was looking at the Roe versus Wade uproar. At that same time, like I said, though, they were also talking about unborn child support. I was more like, what? And how is this going to work? And why would they even have to create that? But then I had to go back and remember the culture, the generation I'm living in, and what things are looking like, man. And it got to be bad for them to want to. Y'all can call it what y'all want to. Yeah, they're going to make money off of this. People's stupidity. People, I'm going to say their foolishness. Not stupid, because everybody know what happens. Like I said, when you come together, the possibility of a baby being made. Everybody knows this. So then the babies come, and then here come all the drama. Like, come on now. Even family court is getting tired of this. The law themselves, they y'all kids, but you get a kick out of going back with your family, laughing at the girl, laughing at how she's carrying the baby in Walmart. Blueface ain't the only one doing it, for sure. Any little mistake some of these baby mamas make, we know the baby mama culture needs to end. We get it. And that's why we will do more segments. Like I talk about this stuff a lot, but yeah, maybe like the power of marriage. Does every marriage work out? No. Celebrities show us that first. Look at Jeezy and his wife already. You know, I've seen people go lengths, like the length to the end of the earth, thinking they're looking for the perfect woman or man. I'm not about to do it. I feel like more so, ladies and gentlemen, what's meant for me is always gonna find me. I had to go back and think about the way I've been blessed in life sometimes. Like some might call it manifesting, or when I pray to God for the impossible, this God I pray to, they say all things are possible through his name. And I've literally seen like impossible situations in my life where I feel like God came through, and I'm gonna stand on my truth. You got celebrities out here still, when they receive that Grammy, baby, one of the first things they say is, I want to first give reverence and thanks to the Most High God, for bringing me this far or whatever. So I'll never hold back. I'm still the same believer. But it's like we grow. We grow. I wouldn't call myself a religious person. That's why we're going to talk about value again. They say we stand for something, or we fall for anything anyway. I just want to make sure what I'm standing for makes sense to me. And I've invested lots of years in my life making sure the Bible made sense to me, right? We're talking about my value. I don't want nobody's finna think for me. I don't care how much MK Ultra they have out here, technology, how much influence is in social media. I even had to get on my kids. You're not about to do everything they do at school. Oh, no, that song's a little too explicit. Y'all are still kids. Like, we still need to have some type of grounding, rooting, rules, boundaries, regulations, starting in our households first. If Blueface had this, would he been so comfortable letting his girl fight on his mama like he did? No, ain't no way. That's clearly some stuff that started at home. She's probably scared of her son. It's a lot of that going on too. I'll probably save that for another segment, but it hurts my heart. I don't have a son, but I couldn't imagine fearing my son because I done spoiled him that much. So I defend him out of, what is that called? What do they do that? Like they'll defend him out of, like, I don't want to say fear. That's pretty much what it is though. Because some of these mamas let them rise up against their son. I have seen this with my own eyes. This is the new generation, ladies and gentlemen. It's like we're spoiling them with buying them games, the shoes they want, giving them all the money they want, turning every corner, flip a corner for them. Then these babies get older, these sons, whatever's been going on in my old generation here, and they fear their sons. A grown son is no longer just a son. That's a grown man, and vice versa. I'm not saying it might not be daughters. I mean, mothers scared of their daughters too. This issue actually made Maury's show very famous. Mothers that didn't know what to do with their daughters and sons that were out of control. Shows like, what's that, where they be having scared straight. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if people stop sending their kids there or what. My point is, they rather sit back, be scared of their own son, laugh at the abuse he put on another woman. You know why I know my value? Because I know that about a lot of mothers. I know that about. That's what makes my value precious to me. If I was to talk to Kevin Samuels, you're not going to tell me what I got to put up with and choose for my life when we're not. I don't think we should talk about the men first. Like, what if when I get to meet a man, it tells me a lot about his value through his relationship with his family, stuff like that. Or they look at mine and they might can do the same thing. Well, she seems pretty family oriented, well rounded or something, love family and talk about family all the time. But no, they want to look at likes and follow. This is what dictates my value. I'm talking about in the new generation. Well, let me see if she got the latest hair trend. What is she doing? Baby, I died to that stuff a long time ago. And I have witnesses. I would be first in line. There's a store that'll tell y'all in Dallas, Texas, I'm going to be first in line to come get a Louis bag. Gucci, it's not even just the name brands to y'all. I'm telling y'all how I have truly grown. And if Krishan Rock was my sister, my cousin or something, you know what I'm saying? I mean, on the level she is, she can buy as many bags as she wants to. I'm just saying, a little growth with me, it was more than old fashioned and my hair, but and lashes and the latest nails and toenails. Like, I don't know, it just don't do nothing. And now there's nothing wrong with self-love, keeping up with yourself, but when you got priorities, responsibilities, and sacrifices, you make a lot. Like me, for example, I got a small business. I was telling somebody the other day, just doing a little breakdown. I might pay a subscription for this podcast over here, $25 a month. Pay StreamYard $25 a month. My phone bill $60. This just to make sure my Wi-Fi bill, so my computer and laptop and stuff is set up when I want to jump on my podcast, right? Those are just those fees. That's not cheap, but I know my value. So why would I let anybody like, well, she ain't got that many likes. Dang, do I need to bring receipts on her? And I pay the rent to have a place to be able to do it. Amen, amen. Right? Like Krishana be all right. She had a friend like me around for real. I might not be the most popular. I might not be the most trendy or whatever, because that's by choice. I just explained it. I'm not I'm not trying to keep up with that type of stuff no more. I remember one of my last luxury cars. It was a BMW. I got witnesses too. Anybody want to go back and replay this stream, trying to be funny or whatever? It was just a few years ago. Now I'm driving what gets me to point A. It's not. I mean, it's not like bad. It's not a bad car. I'm just trying to, I don't know, get y'all to see something. I bet you I'm saving gas. I bet you it only move when I actually need to go somewhere. Versus my early 20s, Krishan Rock age, I always ran out of gas because I'm just always in the street. Boom, boom, boom. You young. So it's like I can feel what she might be going through, how she's trying to find herself. She might have heard the word value. She might even know how to spell it. But I wonder, does my sister there, Miss Krishan Rock, I wonder, does she truly know what value is? And then if she does, how was it taught to her? How did she find what personal value, was? Was it her worth? Knowing herself? That's what most people would consider their value, their worth. I'm not gonna say worth, because that means more like net worth or something to me. But I said, y'all, this is my opinion. To me, value is not your net worth. That's why you got people like Blueface with millions of dollars. You want to tell me that's a high class man, Kevin Samuels? That he should be able to pick through women, and if she got too many kids or too fat, he should, like any woman dealing with him, is going to go through the same thing. Look at them two women. And y'all know he got background ones. Come on now. He probably done been with every one of them girls on this show. And Krishan knows it, but it's not a time that we should play like that out here either. It never was. You got COVID, all kind of sickness, viruses, plagues still attacking communities today. I'll put it like that. And people still playing around with their lives. High class people, might I add, who y'all consider valuable. Oh, they're playing with their lives. They're playing with their lives. Number one, playing with people's feelings is playing with your own life. If you know you got feelings, why would you do something to somebody else that you wouldn't want done to you? It might seem like I'm coming from a basic place. It's a simple question. When it comes to knowing your value, why would you sit there and emotionally traumatize somebody I get it. All they can tell me so far, they be like, Teddy Sherry, hurt people, hurt people. That's not cutting it with me no more. That is not going to slide with me, with people and their behaviors with me if they're gonna be in my life. So Krishan will catch on, because like I said, I'm not finna sit here and ever try to teach her what her value is. Right? That's like something I can't know for somebody to me. Well, the way I look at value, that's what I would have told Kevin Samuels too. Because to me, now we talked about how other people look at it. Value might be their net worth, but to me, or what you find value about them, I better know my own value. Oh man, she bad. She did. She that. Ooh, like, bro, that means nothing to me. Especially if you used to hearing it. And like I said, a man comes showcase money, Mr. Kevin Samuels. To me, I don't know. I'm a different type. I still got a little street in me too. Like, how you making it matters. I don't know how you making all that money. I'm not a gold digger. And I think that's very valuable about myself. If anything, I'm willing to go put my boots on, get it out the mud, get a little dirty. Everybody knows this about me. I don't know. Like, and I'm not gonna let anybody take that from me or devalue. It's worked for me for a very long time, and a lot of my supporters see where this is going, because I've always been patient. I always take my time, and I know what I want in life. So they do say Rome wasn't built overnight. Back to this value thing, I would say it's just knowing yourself at the end of the day. And then, though many of us say we do, a lot of us don't. That's why Dane Calloway and all of them are here. They have millions of subscribers already, straight up. Because they have dedicated their lives, him, Karimio, other ones, big podcasters, to helping people learn. Because I bet you Krishan Rock, she don't listen to those guys. Not yet, but she might. If Krishan Rock go listen to Dane Calloway or one of them tonight or this morning, she's, it don't change you immediately, but it's going to do. That's what knowledge does. That's what a book alone does. We're not saying she don't read. I'm saying if she was my little sister or cousin, niece, or, my son, baby mama, this is the type of stuff we're going to be looking at, sis, because Kevin Samuel says, sis, we need to know our value. Now, sis, do you know yourself? And that ain't something a man can show you unless he's, on Dane Calloway and them level. Or you go find out yourself, because you don't need a man to help you know yourself. You really don't. So we see a lot of women make this mistake. They try to find themselves through multiple partners, I guess you could call it, different bad relationships. But I still feel like it worked out. I don't mean to be funny. Nobody needs to be in a bad abusive relationship. But for some women's journey path, what do I call it? Their destiny. This was meant to grow them. This is meant for them to go through. Because what else was it gonna take for her to start going to learn who she is, want to know more about who she is? Because baby, you're more than your pain. I don't care who you are out there. Pain. Y'all better go watch. See, part 1 was called Glass, I think, with Samuel L. Jackson. What's that movie called? I can't think of the name of it. What is that movie? Not Glass, the other one, where the guy had the split personalities and everything. It's a good movie to watch. Part 2 to that Glass, with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. Part 2 though, and I cannot think of the name of that movie. Yeah, that is going to confirm what I said about pain. Pain is some people, y'all know how you pay a deposit before you move in a place, or a down payment on a car, whatever. That's kind of like what pain is on some people's destinies and on their journeys. I don't know if anybody has ever heard it like that, but I'm here to help somebody this morning. Like, you might not look as your pain as valuable, Krishan Rock, not yet. You already on the level you on, so I don't know why she don't see it yet, or what type of friends she got around her. Yeah, I don't like it. Y'all snapping pictures of her at Walmart and how she holding a baby. How are y'all friends, bro? Like, I don't see that. That's that type of stuff why I stay in the house today. It's like stupid. They don't be supporting you, but they quick to go show this and that about your mishaps and weaknesses, but you got to be ready for that in the industry, entertainment industry. You got to be ready for things like, I even wrote it down so I don't forget. Where did I write it at? Yeah. No, hold on, y'all. Because I feel like people get in this industry and they don't even be ready for the critique, the backlash, the paparazzi. I thought I had wrote it, but they don't be ready for this stuff. Because see, what she get on there is clap back every time. Every time. Okay, I wanted to take this thing back when going into talking about Kevin Samuels. Let's say as early as the 1930s. I mean, we know this was like Great Depression era and stuff like this, right? And I'm just talking about in our country, right? The great United States of America. One second, guys. Okay, what I was trying to say is like, it's weird how even I'm gonna go back a little further than, no, I'm gonna keep it in the 1900s, because what I want to do is shine light on the fact that you did have black women. If I was on Mr. Kevin Samuel's show, because a lot of the ones got on there, I just feel like they let him shut them down or something. I don't know. That means you didn't know yourself, sis. Ain't no way, no man, anybody. I don't care what level they're on. Like, I know what makes me valuable, sets me apart, makes my light shine as bright as it do. You know what I'm saying? And it's not money. It's never been money. God done did many things in my life. I hate to say the word free, but I call them miracles. I don't know what to call them. I feel like they be like doors open to help you get to the next level or something like that. So I'm not making God look like, he just deal with lazy people. No, because faith without works is what? Dead. So I've already shown it when it comes to my heart, my character, my value, even with a man. Like, bro, I need somebody I can trust, not somebody that's going to be, look at Wendy Williams. Let me use her for example. Wendy Williams. And I'm still praying for her. Wendy Williams. I'm saying it one more time. And what this man, that's crazy. His name Kevin too. I don't know what's up with these Kevins lately. I believe her husband's name was Kevin. Her husband, might I add, not her boyfriend, baby daddy, like I think she got a son bomb like Krishan, but they've been married for a long time. Let me tell y'all how long Wendy Williams been married. How long she even knew her husband. Y'all better go check her story out on Lifetime. Stop playing. Talking about, each other's value, or a man gonna tell you your value. Huh. Now he did kind of similar to Blueface, kind of help her get a big, huge leg and foot into the industry and get on the level she got on. Huh. I loved watching her documentary. I didn't even think I would, but like when you put yourself as a human in people's shoes, she has been through a lot, and a lot of us would break. I mean, I don't know, because once you get married on that level, once again, with that type of money, a divorce is possible, but you got all type of legal other stuff that come with it that do got to do with money. And a lot of them, I think they stay married because they be trying to avoid that. Like, we know her husband was, come on now, somebody. Her husband, like during the pandemic, a lot of us saw the marriage didn't work out. They said a lot of people got to really see each other. Let me tell y'all what I feel about this. They said during the pandemic, because Kevin Samuels was around during the pandemic. So this is safe to say, actually, fair use. During the pandemic, anybody can go Google this. Statistics rose in divorce rates more than ever in America. May I remind y'all, why y'all think value is only tangible money, y'all consider high class and all of this that? Because a lot of marriages surely broke up. But let me talk about Wendy Williams real quick. Y'all, if you don't know, that man went off with a mistress, I believe had a baby over there, and was taking care of that other woman. Why everybody want fame and paparazzi, and they think they want attention, because it's just the new social media culture that's done this to people, of course, in my opinion. But see, even when the negative things in your life begin to happen, they're definitely gonna shine light on that too. What? We all love Kanye West. They couldn't wait to get in his business though. Yeah, but I respect them. I said, yeah, y'all showcase his new marriage like you did all his mess with Kim Kardashian. Make sure y'all show that just as much. That's how I feel. It's just my personal opinion. Now show the man happy. We quick to be like, oh, look how Kim's doing him and using him for his money. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, but then Wendy Williams' husband, I feel that for her. I've actually grown in that area. I am an empath and I will internalize the hell out of people situations. But trust me, I've got my knowledge up about energies and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out here internalizing everybody's pain, but what you can do is learn. Don't y'all think, what did I tell y'all? Pain is actually valuable. Now, I'm not saying don't go out here and hurt people, but one thing we cannot do is change the past. We can't change the past. Wendy Williams, she can regret all day if she want to, but you cannot change the fact that you chose to marry that man, We got to take more accountability. And maybe our youth will do better. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what her son is going through or how he gonna look at relationships, but he see how his daddy did his mama. I wish the media would talk about that. Dang, is his mental health okay? Because he probably watched his daddy do it for a long time. And you know, a lot of fathers don't be understanding it. They think the kids are turning them against them. That's taking no accountability at all. See, one thing about it, these babies get older. They've been, and that's just a fact. These babies that's been with their single mothers, they love their mothers. They've seen their mothers. They've been down with their mothers through some of the rain, sleep things. Men will walk away from you. You know what I'm saying? Them kids been there. And it don't matter if it's their daddy that wasn't there. This is the fact that I'm getting to. They internalize what they go through. That's where do y'all think trauma is bred at? In the childhood. So I do think about Wendy Williams' son a lot. I don't care how grown he might be right now. I'm concerned about his future and his character moving forward. Cause like, no, how I heard her husband been doing her, it's one thing to go get a mistress, make new babies and all that. But dang, sir, you were spending her money. Then you had a problem. You spending her money over there, paying for a whole house, bills, luxury cars, was doing that to Wendy Williams for years while she's sitting on stage running this podcast. So I'm not a bitter black woman. I would have been quick to tell Kevin Samuels that. No, I walk away from something that's not from me, sir, in a minute. So that's how some of us become single mothers. Like, we know what we want at all costs. That's knowing your value, you know? If you got to walk alone for a little while, you're not scared of loneliness. What is that? How is that hard? How does that to Kevin Samuels make you look like you don't have no values? You ain't got a man, or like, I don't understand none of that. He would have had to break that down to me. Now, I would have asked him, Mr. Kevin, so would you consider Wendy Williams' husband a high class man or what? I don't know. He just seemed to target like he would, because what I was going to say, you know, it's known that he had a big following. And I just want you guys to know a lot of these people who, you know, agree with a lot of what he was saying were black men. And they still live by it today. And you telling me you're going to tell me you're going to tell me what type of man I need to go choose? Cool. Well, I better know each and every type. I better know what I'm dealing with out here. That's crazy. Like, why he didn't throw that in there? Because Wendy Williams' husband was spending all her money. She knew her value. She's sitting on stage. Or did she? She stayed in a marriage for a very long time, trying to prove her love to Mr. Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you making millions of dollars. You are the Wendy Williams, gossiping about everybody. How she made her money doesn't really matter with this topic. But some people look at that too. You know, when it comes to the karmic world, all she did is point out people dirt. Like, for real, to me. I don't know. She'll interview people, but she was always being funny. Nobody deserves what she's going through, but it makes me look at my life. What did I tell y'all? I look at celebrities a different way now. When I was young, it was just like, oh, Chris Brown, that's my baby. Woo, 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 right? I'm in my 20s. I'm not trying to learn no lessons from these guys. I just like their music, and I'm buying their albums, right? Like, I was 20. I'm in my early 20s back then. Now, when I look at the celebrities, like, man, I'm like, yeah, but he was talking about value. Look at how he did, you know. And yes, I guess Wendy Williams' husband would have been considered a high class man back in. Y'all got to go back to the time how long they've been knowing each other, the 80s. You know, he might have even been more. I ain't gonna say more well known, just more. What's the word? He was too. Y'all got to go watch the documentary. Like I said, he helped her. And then we look at this with Krishan Rock. What am I pointing out? We better know our value, huh? What they'll do is, oh, I made you. Oh, I put you. We saw it in Dreamgirls. I know that wasn't like a real story, but Jamie Foxx most definitely did Effie how he did her. I mean, why do y'all think they put this in the movies? This is very real. We better know our value. So he was on the right track, I believe, with what, when it came to edifying families and getting people to look at something. I do believe he was on, like I say, I can only maybe regret that I never got on there personally, and asked him some questions that I really do have that I feel like he would have found interesting. Because to me, let's say when I'm looking at the value of a man, I'm looking at it spiritually, physically, and mentally for sure. Not just physical, like his income, finances, cars, homes, credit, looks, and weight. But these are some of the things that Kevin Samuels the Great himself would say only matters when it comes to value. His kids, that's another physical one. That's another physical, aspect of value. How many kids a man or woman has. But I know that too. I know people found love after 6 kids. Like, it just would have been different him talking to me. We would have talked real. And then Mr. Kevin Samuel, if you need me, because I'm the oldest of 8, and my mother was married, sir. But if you need me to prove witnesses, if I was on his show, if you need me to get women on here who had 5, 6 kids and they're in beautiful marriages today, like, sir, they're still out here. So how you gonna tell somebody their value goes down, because of how many kids they have? Well, he needs to go back and study history. People knew the value in their children, especially royalty. People knew the value of their children. You had slave masters tagging prices on children. That's why topics like this, like what he was teaching, I don't think it's a game, especially if you're speaking on a mass like platform where lots of people listen to you. That's not a game, sir. Slave owners knew value. They didn't say, oh, well, it's that slave has 6 kids, so we can't use her. Y'all get where I'm coming from. So, like I said, I don't think it's a topic to be played with. If a person make sure you know what you're talking about or something. Not saying he wasn't. Maybe I still just don't understand where he was coming from with a lot of things he would say. Maybe that's what it is. See, I give myself that. I'm not just gonna say I'm always right about everything. Okay, I'm inviting you in, sister, right now. I'm bringing you up because I want you to take over for a second. I can warm up this coffee. Uh,
What's up?
can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Grand Rising.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, yeah, I was listening to everything you were saying. You said something a while ago. I was like, that was exactly what I was thinking. Can't remember what it was, but you said so many things that was on point. So
Oh, like with the value, like how he was teaching it. You go ahead. I just want to hear somebody else because I said maybe I just out of all the things he would teach, it's when he would touch on that. Me personally, as a black woman, it would rub me wrong. And even if it's a year later, whatever, since his passing, I'm trying to still keep it respectful because you're gonna have those critics. Well, I had them last year on a few podcasts. They're like, y'all act like y'all proud he's dead. I'm like, that's weird. Now, death is sad either way it go, but we have a right to, elaborate and talk about, because he put himself out there as a podcaster and everything. You know what I mean? So you got to expect critics and people to have different opinions. I was just trying to see, yeah, he'll be like, well, if you too big, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be looking for a high class man. He would tell black women this, your weight and if you wear hair weave. I'm just being honest. I would hear him say stuff like this. But you go ahead, sister. You still there? Yeah, y'all. I mean, I would hear him say stuff like that. Oh,
Hey, can you
but
hear me?
oh, okay. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. So, I think that he mainly was saying since us women want certain men, um, then this is what it's going to take to get these men that they want. He was saying that most men that we consider high value are not with bigger women.
Hmm.
Um, so I think he was just kind of giving people something.
Like to think about, or like a new perception. I can understand that. That's why I said I do. It's the
I
way
mean,
he. Go ahead. Go
it's
ahead.
because it's the truth. Because you just gave a comparison. I mean, you just said something about Kanye West. Both of the women that he was with are models. So
Right.
if he was just saying, like, I guess, if you're a bigger woman, this is what you're facing. And
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, it might not just be being big. That don't mean you can't get a man, but I'm saying, if you looking at men like that, we see that the women that he's dated have been models,
Mm-hmm.
or what we call models, because you got plus size, you got you got all kinds of models, but they've
Mm-hmm.
been these certain type of women, in which they're even saying that his new wife, or a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the girlfriends he had, was trying to look like, his
Her.
ex-wife Kim.
Mm. Because I was just gonna speak on that, the whole BBL culture, which I don't know if he ever talked about that, right? Because when you
Yeah, I
say
mean,
big or
yeah.
small, either way, that's natural. I know that much. Like, I'm
And
saying the perception of men, like the way he was teaching it to me was a little off, but I do think I understand where he was coming from,
yeah,
Like,
he's saying, this is, from what we're seeing, this is what
mhm,
you're dealing with. If
mhm,
these are the men that you want, if
mhm.
these are the
They
men
want
that you
this,
want,
they want you to have the body, and a lot of them will pay for it. That too, because let's say we're not even talking to, because that's what I'm saying. I would have to ask him, what is high class to you, sir? I know, I mean, Cardi B will tell you how much money she was making in the strip club before she was a rapper, and how she had tricks willing to pay for bigger breasts or whatever. So to me, it's just totally different. It's what value is to us. You know what I mean? I was just saying his opinions versus mine or something. You know what I mean? Or getting other black women's opinions, because I definitely have to do a part two, maybe play some of his segments, as I'm
yeah,
speaking, so people can see where I'm coming from, because I don't want to look like I'm just nitpicking on everything he say, but this is what they do to us podcasters anyway, not just Kevin Samuels. But what is your opinion on what Wendy Williams went through?
um, she Wendy Williams. I don't. I know it.
Yeah, it just hurt any black woman to see her current situation. And we might not know the whole ordeal, but I know she's been dealing with a few illnesses for some years, and I know her husband was aware. And regardless of how her body looked, or she got a BBL, this is a man that accepted her, I guess, at one point when they got married, the way she was, just natural, or just trying to come up in the industry and stuff like that. Um, and it's just like, I don't think she saw it coming. Like, this how he gonna do me, But she can't really blame him. Wendy Williams, there was no Instagram and all of that when y'all first came into the industry. Not trying to make excuses, but I definitely said that earlier in the stream, how social media's culture has definitely affected relationships. Either way we look at it, right?
I think.
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
But my phone keeps going. Keeps going out. But I
I
was gonna
understand.
say, Wendy Williams is paying her husband, her ex-husband.
Uh-huh.
In which you could never, you see now it's always him and Wendy Williams in the news. You know,
Mhm.
that and so they're categorized together or something, or they're put together. But what I'm saying is she's paying him also because he claimed, and I think she said also, and you'll hear her say it before this happened, is that he was her manager.
Mhm.
So he was taking some of that back, as because he worked as her manager and he was also her husband. He didn't, I don't know if he necessarily took it because he was her husband, but
Right.
he was her manager, so he sued on the basis of that. I think, I don't know if he sued or what happened, but
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, I remember her going back to that was the big, everything everybody was celebrating for her because she, got sick and got off the show. But she decided to get a lawyer and fight. It was something he got mad about. Maybe that's what you're talking about. But I should
well,
follow up on what happened with that because she got a lawyer and I believe she won. I heard he got cut off, like cut off. That's why he's upset. And he still got that baby over there to take care of with the mistress.
yeah, because he had a certain amount that she had to pay him for all those years of being her manager.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it did have, the divorce, happened. And so that's what prompted, for them to say he deserves a certain amount of pay because he worked for her for all those years as her manager. And, you know, um, I guess some would say he helped build her up.
Yeah. But
So I don't,
like
you know what
like
I mean?
Blueface
I'm
with
not
her.
saying it's right, but I wouldn't want to do it, if I was Wendy. But she has a lot of money, so, and I think it was mostly probably the divorce and the money, but the divorce
Mhm.
probably that really hurt her because they have been together for a long time or
And he
married.
helped her. But how I'm comparing her to Blueface and Krishan. What she needs to get out of there while she's young. I see Wendy Williams now. See, she loved that young man. We all can see that. And he did help her get into I don't see much more difference, but that we're in a social media culture today. Domestic violence is at an all-time high. And that was something I was gonna mention too. It was at an all-time high while he was preaching value and class. You know what I mean? That's why I felt like he should have been careful with his delivery with a lot of stuff to women. Or
Um,
maybe, for real. This is real. Like in this country,
I'm gonna
and,
have to.
and we're seeing it with the celebrities. They don't care no more. They beating on these women all on camera. This is a problem.
Um,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I'll rejoin in a second. I gotta Gary go handle something real fast.
Cool, cool. I'm gonna be on
All
here
right,
for it because I had some more here that I didn't even go over with Kevin Samuels. But we're gonna be here. Thank you for jumping on with me.
you're welcome.
I don't know if if you called me too, but we're gonna talk because I need to give you my email again or something. We gotta get to connecting.
Okay, sure
Okay.
will.
Love you,
Um,
sis.
love you too.
Yes, where I left off about value, like to me at the end of the day, it's knowing thyself. And I wasn't being funny talking about dang Kyle. It's just a great start for any young one. We are living in the age of knowledge like never before. You can go Google how rapid a toenail grows, like anything you want to know, anything you want to go research. We have access to this, like in a way that generations before us didn't. So I'm not saying you can find yourself on the internet or nothing like that, but we know the type of information that's out there when it comes to ancestry, DNA, woo, woo, woo. You making it to Hollywood, the industry. To me, that's not like that should not be. You know what I'm saying? What gives you your value or whatever, right? Like we had groups like Destiny Child. I'm just trying to keep giving good examples where people just did this naturally. They valued one member of the group. It never fails. It happened in the Temptations, like that. Like many groups, somebody was always more valued. And this is the one you usually see go on a solo journey and make all the good money. Look at Pretty Ricky. Out of their group, I believe it was Pleasure P, Destiny's Child, maybe Beyonce. It's just something that happens, right? People tie value to things like that I feel like, yeah, maybe just the physical. Once again, income, finances, talent, cars, homes, credit, looks, weight, education, right? And so, like the sister was just saying too, though, Kevin Samuels was more giving, I guess, the real on, y'all saying y'all want these high class men, rich men or whatever, which all of us didn't say that. So I don't know where he got that from. Cause like to me, character speaks more than how much money you got in your pocket. I don't care if you're Kanye West. I want to get to know you for myself. If we're going to talk about dating, and any man that's like not, how do I put this? That's just a red flag in itself. Like, because you could think you're getting to know somebody and they lying the whole time too. So I mean, women, we have a lot on our shoulders, and that's why a lot more more black women anyway are, we're not like the passport bros where we're out here announcing that we're leaving black men alone or nothing, but more of us do feel safer, more secure, and that's crazy. Just like as single mothers and stuff like that. For anybody who wanted to know, safety first. With the way, like I was telling the sister, domestic violence has been going around here like a plague. To me, I did a segment on it. I was like, the real pandemic. Yeah, because what else sparks a peak in domestic violence numbers? And the statistics go on and on because some are just abused, and like I said, others don't make it out of the relationship. So we must know what we're talking about when we say value. Like my answer at the end of the day, a value of a man, how well that man knows himself, not how arrogant he is, not how stuck up and boss and high class he is. I know a lot of humble, classy men. Got plenty of money, but they're humble. And that's something that I would more, you know what I'm saying, consider not even marrying, but you know what I'm saying, if I'm going to be with somebody, you know what I'm saying, character says everything. And then character is one of those things that just speaks for itself. You don't have to say too much. You see what you see. You keep it moving or you stay around, right? I personally feel like Kevin Samuels, he just had a mission to help women and men find themselves if he was talking about class and value, because like, do we know who we are as a people? That's why I leave it like that. And then value to me is can be broken down into categories. I'm talking about personally what I look at: the spiritual aspect of value, the physical aspect of value, and the mental aspect of value. Because a lot of men will tell you they don't want a dumb dingy woman, right? But see, I have to remind people out there too. I don't know where this came from, but uh being it's crazy. Like once upon a time, it was cool to be like shy, off to yourself, by yourself. It was respectable. Like nobody saw that as weird. People call you weird for that today, just because the culture is, what I'm saying, begging for attention. My daughters call them pick me's. That's the new I guess lingual the young people use. But it's like everybody is like really, really, really starving for attention. And it's just a sad time to live in. Like, because attention, ugh, attention, attention, if it's paying you, I feel like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Business, you need that type of attention or something. Just attention off of clout and stuff like that, it's dead. It's dead to me. It's dead in my life. If it's not authentic, I'm not gonna speak on it. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not gonna speak on it either. Or if I'm speaking on it, I'm more asking for other opinions and comments and stuff like that, right? Or asking for people, to clarify what it means to them, right? Uh so I talked about those physical aspects of value just from my stance: income, finances, cars, homes, credit, looks, you know what I'm saying, land, weight, and you know what I'm saying? Then you have the mental aspect of value. And this is just, in my opinion. What do I mean when I say mental? I guess your education level, most definitely your emotional intelligence. That's everything to me. Even if it's a man like Kanye West, it looks like Kim saw it too. And yes, she was a high fashion model and everything Kim Kardashian does. But one thing she definitely pointed out a lot through their marriage and got on podcasts and spoke about was the seemingly lack of emotional, you know what I'm saying, intelligence her husband had. Yeah. My husband will break down in the middle of a show talking about his home life. She said she had a problem with it. The middle of a whole concert. This is what she was quote unquote dealing with when she was married to him. Yeah, he picks models, but I'm saying what he went through too. So I guess your wife didn't feel like you were stable enough mentally, emotionally, uh, for her to keep fighting for that marriage. I don't know how else I would have to put it for those two guys, because from everything that's come out about the Kardashians and Kanye West, um, she, obviously that mattered to her as far as value. The mental part, or what y'all want to call it, IQ. We know that Kanye West is a genius, so I won't use the IQ thing with him for this instance. But when I say mental, maybe value to some people, on the mental level would be something like your education level, work experience level, IQ level, emotional intelligence level. And this last one I wrote, tolerance level. Like, yes, that is the day of my dreams when I find I ain't gonna say find because I'm not looking for it. I feel like I said, what's meant to come to me is gonna come. I'm at that level in life in my early 30s. And if it never comes, I'm good, because it's like I know what I want once again, and I can't see myself on Wendy Williams level and my whole husband taking my money, going over there, doing all that with another woman. No, no, he would have to value me, right? So we're talking about tolerance on a mental level when it comes to value. How I'm saying I look at these things that have nothing to do with money. When I say, when I talk about me and how I value a person or something. You know what I mean? It's like the tolerance. What do I mean by that? We're seeing this left and right. All these angry, angry men. And, it's like they're taking it out on black women. It is what it is. What are you so angry about? And then why is it that when somebody might tell you a little bit of the truth, that there's no way as a grown man you go through life and this one woman has caused all your issues? I'm not willing to believe that. And that's why I keep working. I keep going. It ain't that I ignore my pain, my issues, my problems. We all got them. But I work through it because I have a high tolerance level. That doesn't mean that I'm going to sit back and keep accepting whatever. A man that was interested in me would get to know me and find it out. Like, her patience level, it would take a man having a lot of patience, just like me. And I'm not just talking about with kids. I'm talking about emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Not just what you tolerate. Like Sparks, what's that movie? 300 is a great example, real quick. At the very beginning of the movie, make y'all think about something. At the very beginning of the movie, hold on. Y'all remember how I think it's called 300 is the name of the movie. But I remember some about Sparta. This what I'm giving y'all an example of tolerant levels. Yes, a whole outside, opposing side, opposing country, kingdom comes all the way over there to Sparta, trying to pretty much work. They call themselves in to come try to make a deal with, you know, the Spartans and whatever they wanted. They came with a proposal, or you know what I'm saying? So him and his wife came outside. Everybody remembers this scene where they kind of kicked him. He kicked him into the hole or the ditch or whatever that was. But I'm pointing at the tolerance of that king and queen at that time. Let me show y'all something. And why they were a good couple match and they both knew their value to me and they both upheld and openly showed their value for one another, right? Even when outside enemies tried to come in with this and that, right? Because he showed them. They let that man finish his whole proposal. That's what I'm talking about. Like, be patient. How you gonna be just you ready to fight at the beginning of anything that I mean, they already know you're a king, but what's a king with no tolerant level? Like, yes, he did end up kicking the guy really, really hard into that long ditch, but his emotional intelligence to me showed because it's like you let the man finish his proposition, woo woo woo. But when he found it disrespectful, he definitely showed boom boom boom. That's how a king works. But I just wanted to bring that up to kind of give an example of what I mean when I say emotional intelligence or tolerance. People talk about IQs all day. And that's just like to me, that's just a little part of the mental where somebody is mentally. To me, a person can be highly intelligent on the IQ level, highly educated, highly skilled, all that, and still be emotionally like lacking emotional intelligence. And all they know, they have not taken the time out to grow, through their emotions. I'm gonna put it like that. Practice growing through their emotions. And then I think it just shows with me like I don't know, maybe somebody like more close and personal people like my neighbors or something. They can probably count on their fingers how many times I've spoken to them. I don't look at this as unfriendly. I look at it as emotional intelligence. I don't care if I hear y'all arguing outside or I don't know. If it don't have nothing to do with me, I'm not getting in it. I have to pick and choose my battles wisely. I have to pick who and what type of emotions I am letting into my space, into my energy, into my personal. Like I said, as an empath, you already naturally end up kind of like internalizing other people's pain and issues, right? I have done nothing but worked on perfecting the craft of knowing and being able to manage my own emotions through any situation. But otherwise, I do not feel control of myself. I do not feel like I know my value. I'm gonna still feel like a puppet if somebody can control my emotions. That's how I feel. Now I'm human, so I have them. Emotions, you're gonna have them, but emotional intelligence is what shows, huh? And to me, even if a man is not making as much as the one that makes six figures a year, I can build with that one who got emotional intelligence. I bet you I can. And he might get chose over the one with all the money. Because, like I said, to me, character is going to be more valuable than. And people might say, "Why? How could you say that? Don't the man need money? You got kids." Of course. I love how God has used my life. If it's going to be the type of man that feel like he got a short change, because that's another thing about men too, when he was talking about value and how you need to be if you want a high class man. Um, it's gonna show like even if he's a high class man, it's gonna show whether he feels like, pretty much whether he values you or not, right? That's gonna show. This is what I mean. If he's breadcrumbing you, shortchanging you, and some go as far as bragging about it, even if they're doing it behind your back, stealing from you, whatever. Like, I don't see how this love. I don't see how that man values that woman or how that woman values that man. You got a lot of people with money too that have been robbed by women. I just want people to know I'm not being sexist on this segment. I know that everything I'm saying goes both ways. Yes, character would speak louder. So what? I'm gonna marry a man that I feel like has all this class and value, right? But I never look at it from a spiritual, mental perspective, just physical. That's kind of like setting myself up for failure. Okay, because we didn't talk about the spiritual side, like a person's value spiritually to me would be things like their ability to grow or their growth altogether, because they might want to tell me, hey, look, this is what I used to do, right? and I see their current standing. Maybe their current standing is so beautiful that I wouldn't even believe what you told me you used to do or whatever. Maybe some people like you in that light. A lot of men don't understand that too, because Kevin Samuels should have spoke on that. We could talk about that. Of course, high class women are not marrying felons every day. They're not marrying, criminals or low vibrational people every day, right? So the same thing with a man. Like, he shouldn't just want to be with her for her money and looks. I'm sorry. What is her emotional intelligence level? Is she quick to break stuff when she don't get her way? See, y'all think what I'm talking about today doesn't matter. It's gonna matter. That's why I even got a book coming out about this soon. You know, um, I can say this. It might be called Volumes of Value or something like that, but I know I won't stick to that title since I just said it publicly. I got a few uh book titles put to the side for this book, but it will be in depth, my opinion, of value, how this generation has lost sight of the real definition of value. They've lost sight of it because maybe the people teaching them didn't really know it. I don't know what it is, but I very well think it should be more than what you physically have to offer and bring to the table. You know, because a lot of these the big models today, they definitely got a BBL done somewhere. If I'm not a man, but if I were, I must say she's more valuable because she got plastic surgery than the one with the natural body. That's why I say, why can't we just keep it at preference? Keep the preferences on the preference side where they belong. But if we're going to talk about value, keep that in its own box. You can't say that another something else is less valuable than something else because you have a different preference. I don't think that's fair. Like, you know what? Uh, all black women is this and that. Okay, just say that your preference is Latinos or Asian women or something else. Look at Young Jeezy. He didn't marry a black woman. Nobody was mad at him for that. His fans, like me, we were just happy to see him happy. Like, man, Jeezy got married finally. You know what I'm saying? I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. You know I do. Okay. I'm a real fan. So when we saw him get married, we were excited. Nobody judged his preference. We leave the preference where we leave it. Now, boom, we look at the value. We can look at Jeezy's value. We can look at Jeannie Mai's. Um, but when I look at it, I would look at both partners from a spiritual, physical, and mental level. Yeah, spiritual, what did I mean? Growth or ability to grow, willingness to grow. If, I see that's kind of stunted, and that kind of takes away from probably how much I value you. It don't have to take away from that person. They can continue being how they are. They could probably think shit, you can't tell me nothing. So that's how life goes. I just know it wouldn't be the one for me. But if we look at their spiritual, physical, and mental aspects of value, we would have to look at it, because now they're coming out saying that at the end of the day, he just felt like her family was money hungry. He was tired of spending money. All I know is that every time I saw pictures of that baby, though, she seemed to just be with the mama. So whatever he was feeling, it had been going on. Whatever just reached us in the public just reached us. He just published a book himself. Got some new music coming. I definitely got to check that out. The reason, because I don't just listen to rappers to listen to it for this culture, guys. Not me personally. I saw the value in Young Jeezy's music years ago. I grew up in the era when he came on the scene, for real. So I'm not just saying that matters to me. Like, what he raps about is definitely going to motivate you every time. If you're in a headspace of I'm busy, I'm hustling today, I'm getting this money, you definitely want to put some Jeezy on. Some Young Jeezy on, okay? Which one would I advise? That Snowman 3 is actually one of my favorite albums. Okay? Like, but any of his albums, you know what I'm saying? They could listen to his song Soul Survivor. Hey, Connie, Young Jeezy, trying to take it easy. The only way to go. What he say? If you looking for me, I'll be on the block. But see, he pretty much did a podcast recently on a TV show talking about his group, his growth. Cause y'all think growth and value don't correlate, but I'm here to prove it. Yeah, just to promote and market his book. He definitely mentioned that, he talks about his growth, some of the things he value. I ask a lot of my uh interviewees when I get on the show, when I'm interviewing them about their book, I definitely ask about hometown values, right? Like there are different type of values. You know what I'm saying? You might have a whole set. That's why I would have had to ask Mr. Samuels, what do you mean? Like my value? What level are we talking about here? Or what are we talking about? Like that, y'all. So anyways, he was just saying her family was like, because y'all know that's how it is sometimes. You marry that woman, you pretty much married the family too. All they know is you young G's and you got money. I don't know if the rumor is true, but yeah, that's some believable stuff if this is what's going on. And though people might be shocked to hear it or something, I don't know if that's believable or not, because that woman had her own money before him. So I can share. I'm gonna share it in the comments where I saw that at. But it was saying, so it could be a mixture of different things. Maybe they did both value each other at one point. But if he feels like he's outgrowing the marriage already, then who are we to judge him? Because they did say he's the one foul. So yeah, I spoke on the children how once upon a time, because Kevin Samuels definitely said that before. Like, look at Sierra. She had kids before Russell Wilson and everything. That didn't take from her value in that man's eyes. Now, some might argue, well, Teddy Sherry, that's because she only had one when she met him. Maybe that is. But the way he taught it, you already lost value because you didn't have this many kids. That is so stupid when you know what the culture is today. Yes, it's still a woman's choice with her body. Like, you still have people doing all it. It's called free will choice, actually. And then whatever repercussions she suffers from or what she gains from it is nobody business. That's how I feel about it. It keeps the topic a little more simpler, put it in perspective for you guys. Like, I'm not gonna be the sexist feminist here. You know what I'm saying? What I can do is look at the lives of celebrity, high status, high class people already, or what we consider idols. And I even noticed that none of their relationships are perfect. They have outside babies. You know what I'm saying? They cheat. You know what I'm saying? Blueface, for example, he'll get on there and even bash his girl openly. And I'm like, oh, this is what comes with having money and being with somebody with money. It'll make you think twice. And I did years ago. Like, you know what? I've made up in my mind. Character will always speak louder from the business side of my life to the personal side of my life. And even my girls, they're all born with different personalities, but I still very well teach and preach character in my household. Character in public, character around the house, character, with family. Uh, I had an email come through and it's a surprising one. It's crazy. So I was just looking at something. Cause I might have to call those guys. I was like, what? Dang, they still coming in. Oh, I forgot. It's the top of the morning, so that's what emails do, huh? While I was on here, they just start popping, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, why are they, I don't know. So yeah, I'm back, y'all. Oh, I encourage you guys, though, for sure, with the utmost respect to. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with reassessing what we consider value, number one, and then what we have valued in our lives that what we have set as priorities and uh say, this is dear to me, this is sacred to me, this is valuable to me, so this is how I take care of it, right? I gave an analogy on a podcast recently. I said, because I want people to understand something about gifts. Receiving gifts, giving gifts. Okay. If you, I don't care if you made the gift, because one thing about gifts, they've said for a long time, is that it's the thought that counts, right? If we live in a materialistic world where it's like, no, it ain't even a thought that count to people no more. So I don't know why they say that. They're actually looking at the gift, they're assessing it, and they're actually gonna, that's what's gonna tell them how much you care about them, what the actual gift was. When times used to didn't be like that. People meant what they said. It was the thought that counted, but you got women these days trying to compete with who can get a man the best gift. I will never be one of those. That's just who I choose to be. That's what I consider keeps me valuable. And I've met men along the way that agree. Like, yeah, you should never, you too beautiful to ever fight, scrap, whatever over a man. Period. It shows more about whoever's character. The women that are willing to, their emotional intelligence levels for sure. So I outside of that, I see what I see and keep it moving. But people swear they love themselves, know themselves, and you can't tell them nothing. So I love an example of somebody who know their value. I'm doing it like this for a reason. Miss Jaguar Wright, I respect her. She came out, spoke her truth a lot about a lot of different things when it comes to the industry. And I would agree, in my opinion, from my viewpoint, that's a woman who knows her value. And I know she's been through things. People want to go dig up. They say that anyway when you start telling the truth. Oh, all of a sudden you do drugs. Oh, you're this. Oh, she's crazy. Jaguar Wright ain't crazy. She was just doing interviews last year. Oh, she had a mental breakdown. I wouldn't care if she break all the way down. She still is a woman of value to me. But I'm not a man. This is not talking like relationship wise. She's a great example of a woman who knows her value. Like I said, she knew probably what was going to come with her coming out and speaking about a lot of things too. So I just look at things different. But you got a lot of people will just join the bandwagon just because everybody else calling her crazy and call her crazy too. But her name is Jaguar Wright. Y'all can go check her out anytime. Check out some of the things she was saying, when it comes to her opinions on the industry. So a lot of black men did support Kevin Samuel's teachings, even though, in my opinion, he tried to compare the earlier generations of families, households, and relationships to today's. And, you can do that, but you cannot apply the same principles. You just can't. In an evolving, constantly changing society, we've been trying to do that. And I feel like that's where all the confusion comes from. Like, things were done a certain way in the 30s. Then things were done a certain way in the 40s. I just see the repetition. Then things were done a certain way in the 50s. Then certain things were done a certain way in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and it just goes on. But I see the repetition. Like, every time there's a popular movement, people are going to rise up and, pick their side of the movement. And I don't look at today any different. I have stood on my stance. I've chosen my side of every movement. LGBTQ, anything you can name. Roe versus Wade, woo, woo, woo. I'm a proud American citizen. The changes in society in my country, I've definitely, I've definitely made up in my mind. I'm willing to put my shoes on, the shoes I walk in every day, and take my stance and speak my opinions, on how I feel about things, especially what Kevin Samuels was talking about, right? You cannot try to, maybe he was teaching like, look, today's high class man, this is what you're going to have. or go get you a low vibrational man and shut up. He pretty much would put it like that. Go get you an average man and be happy. Um, my little average man could be more valuable to me though, Mr. Samuels. You don't have to say it like that. You know, like I said, if I ever got on his show, because value could speak to some of us is more than, you know, from a physical aspect. Like I said, you know, I trust is a big one with me. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't trust you, you've already been xed out of two or the three of my list of categories of value. You know what I'm saying? Does that mean I have to disrespect you? No, I'm gonna probably even end it peacefully. But you know, if you want me to value you, don't you got to give me something of value? And that goes both ways with a woman or a man. Like I said, you got men with a lot of money would treat you like anything. They'll invite you in their life just to do it. What? But see, I know he came from a different time, a different generation, and it'll make the older people try to tell us something to turn things around. But like I said, I think what'll start turning it around if we have more of our elders taking accountability, helping the young people heal, helping them find the right way. You know, if we don't see them doing that, how can you expect our youth, you know, to be doing anything different? The generations out the y'all, the 60s and 50s, what have y'all been teaching everybody? So you mean to tell us you just raised us all right, taught us all the right way, and we all still chose the wrong path? It's a real question. Because this whole younger generation it's a new time and things are much different. But emotional intelligence and the mental aspect of value goes a long way with me. You know, I might pick the, you know, clinical therapist, right? That's a high class man to me as well. He helps people through their mental barriers every day. He might not make as much money as the doctor, as the owner of the truck company, as the owner of the bank. He might not be the president, the governor, or nobody, but I trust him, right? I trust his judgments. I trust his call on stuff. You know what I'm saying? I trust his ability to handle pressure under unfortunate circumstances, right? That never means that a man gotta hide his feelings and, you know what I'm saying, or act out every time. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know. I'm just talking about me though. My opinions. And yes, I made that very clear. At the beginning of the stream, Blueface is just wrong all the way around, and I hope he finds Jesus soon. Cause you don't play with kids, bro. And he was playing with his first son, like stupid stuff, stupid. And he's not the only one. I think they was talking about Boosie before when he had strippers dancing for his young son. People are saying straight up that's child abuse. You know, you want him at 3 years old to know what a woman is and to be sexual like that, and your baby mama was cool with it. I'll be looking at stuff. So I kind of agree with him on the kids' part, outside of the fact that kids take away from a person's value. No, maybe their parenting, maybe, you know, I wouldn't even say the person they had the kid by. You have to be as emotionally intelligent as you need to be in that child's life, especially when you're dealing with, you know, a co-parent that doesn't make that easy. But I think women have been looking more for the effort. It's 100% understandable. You know, I know they got the passport bros and all these other men that say they done with black women, but it's on the side of the black women. It's completely understandable across the country in society right now. It's understandable for them to say, hey, a lot of us are through. And I'm telling y'all, they say off a level of safety first, they can love themselves. They can please themselves. They can go get their own hair, nails, all that stuff done. They can pay their own bills. That's another thing that's changed over the course of time as well. Women are doing more than ever today for their households, on their jobs, for their kids, by themselves, if anybody forgot. And it's a reason that it's went this way. I wouldn't say it's made women more prideful. I could say that even on these successful levels, independent levels that women are on, I wouldn't say that they're through dating or they're through looking at black men just because what was I finna say? Yeah, because they be like, oh, their attitudes, blah blah blah, when it come to black women. But yeah, guys, even other races are seeing something with black men because they'll go over there and talk about our attitudes and how we're hard to deal with, right? But then they find out things with them. That's why I said a woman is a woman. Keep the preferences. Like that has nothing to do. You want to go choose a woman of another race has nothing to do with us black women. But because you tried to shift the blame on black women, it's almost like a boomerang effect. Like even these women in other cultures do see how much of a lack when it comes to emotional intelligence, tolerance levels, IQ levels. They see that with these men as well. These be average brothers who say, "Look, we're gonna go fly to other countries just to go have a woman that's not. It's just it's ignorant, a more submissive wife." This is literally what they say out of their own mouths. This was the mission of the founding of the Passport Brothers. Okay? To encourage other black men across the country to get their passports and go explore in other countries, other women. But these women have been speaking up on TikTok too. I have no reason, and y'all know how authentic I am, to lie about this. There is millions of TikToks of women just being like, y'all can call them being funny or whatever. Like they talk their noise though. They be like, cause see, y'all gonna tell us, well, this is what as a black woman you need to do to have a high class man. What did y'all change about? You just going as you are. You have nothing special. You're not over there feeding their hungry people, right? You're not starting nonprofit organizations over there. You're not doing nothing but going over there to look for a woman to put up with your um what a black woman wants. To be honest, she's not an animal. She's not some type of strange species. She's actually where you come from, sir. She's where you come from and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool if your preference is different and you don't date black women. Who cares? The only person should care is the person you with, and y'all should be happy as ever. But see, we're just talking about the state of society today. This is not what we're seeing. Even biracial couples split up. Sometimes biracial couples don't work out. A woman is a woman, a man is a man. But when you begin to weed them out through value, like sit back and assess how somebody values their self. That's the only difference. How I'm gonna teach it different from what Kevin Samuels was saying. Don't say don't look at it as oh, you want a man of value, this is what you should do. No, no, no. You need to more assess, ladies and gentlemen, how much that person values themselves to begin with. Because I bet you abusers and wolves do. They're very much studying whether you value yourself. And to them, they like, well, you can't possibly value yourself as an independent woman. There has to be some reason you're single and some reason that, you're all alone or something like that. It's very ignorant. It's a very ignorant statement. You know what I mean? It is to me. Like when black women are saying all over TikTok, social media, YouTube, they're telling you why they're leaving black men alone. It's for their safety first. To keep their kids safe, to keep them safe. Because every time they turn around, he has her fighting somebody because he don't know what he want. Or every time they turn around, they're taking care of another baby by themselves because, whatever this new lust sex culture is, nobody's getting married anymore. Nobody can wait because it would take them, having to stay down and be real. And then a lot of them are getting into marriages. Like, Jeezy and his wife was a biracial couple. It didn't work out. Whew. I am long-winded this morning. But don't feel bad about it. I'm just speaking on the facts. It was technology and social media to begin with, in my opinion, that shaped our views and perception of relationships altogether. Technology did this. Things like what do I mean when I say social media is shaping the culture of relationships and whether people will trust them or not, all of that. Social media and something like the inbox, the messenger has caused a lot of problems out here, many all that. Because somebody couldn't stay out of somebody inbox. You know what I'm saying? Somebody want to call somebody man on Facebook. That's how accessible anybody's man is today. It's crazy. Anybody's woman. If she got a Facebook, there's a messenger. And it doesn't matter what race you are. Everybody uses Facebook, baby. So social media most definitely shaped the culture of relationships to me. It pretty much promoted and supported illusions. I said illusions. Yep. Illusion is something that looks a certain way, but it's something else. People are master illusionists these days, right? People that have never touched magic at all. They've somehow learned the trick of illusion, right? Making their life look this way or that way on a whole social media platform. They do this with pictures and posts and statuses and comments and filters on those pictures, stuff like that, you know. And then man will tell you, someone like some dude, I see what he's teaching, keep up with yourself, all this. And they would even say these mean things about Derek Jackson's wife. She don't keep herself up. She always got a bonnet on and her nails done. Look how first women treat each other. Look how critical a man can tell you. A man that know women, when I say no women, I've been with a few that were actually raised by nothing but women. You know what I'm saying? But so they know what I'm talking about. Women are first critical as hell to one another. Okay. If high class men see this, what's going on? You definitely need to know your value so you can know what you want, so you can stand on what you have when you obtain it. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted the dream girl was somebody with $1 million and a big booty and a BBL, well, do not complain. That's just that woman. That's the preference you chose. It doesn't matter what race she is. If whatever happens, it happened because that was your preference. That's what you wanted. I just I think about these things because I'm in this generation. I have daughters in this generation, so I better be paying attention. I think I'm more considered a millennial and they're more the Gen X's, but either way, we have to pay attention to the way the world is changing. It's like I say, it's like insanity. What they say to keep doing the same thing and expect new results. Mm, mm, mm. But I do. I have those that watch from afar and say, why is she doing things so different? Well, they must have never heard that quote. I'm still myself, but I gotta be different. I gotta do things different. Cause see, uh, if you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you're gonna get the same results. You're gonna get the same results. You're gonna get the same results. I just wanted y'all to know that. So for us to say, well, we should be like our grandparents, they had one wife and everybody, even that's coming out more. Dude, the grandparents got cheated on too. I don't know where y'all got that from. Turn my heat on. I don't know what part of the country you guys are in, but where I am, it's definitely fall is here. Like it don't be cold in the daytime, but like early in the morning and in the evenings, oh my gosh. And y'all know I'm like a little bold woman, so I get cold easily. I had to go and grab me a jacket real quick in my own house, but I turned the heat on too, cause Lord. So that's crazy when the weather start doing it. Y'all know that weird shift in between fall and winter. I'm sorry, summer and fall. Fall and winter, you're just gonna it's just gonna be cold. But summer and fall is a weird transition because what it'll start getting real cool in the evening and at night and then in the morning time, right? And then so that's how a lot of people probably get sick too. Because the weather just be changing outside. It never fails. Every summer there's that weird transition from summer to fall, where it's like cold only at night or something. I don't know. To me, it's a pet peeve. I can't change nature or nothing, but I'd be like, why do you do us like that, nature? Like, being hot and cold off and on, messes us up sometimes. Have us out here sick, sneezing with colds and allergies. But we do encourage you guys. I'm not the CDC or nothing. Y'all stay safe out there. Some people are already back wearing their masks. I think I'm finna be one of them. And my faith is not in the face mask, but I do think I'm finna go back to wearing them because I've been seeing people coughing, sneezing, everything, and even seeing it on the news that there's a few things going around. We just don't have time for it. I got a little baby, and stuff like that. So I'm definitely staying 6 feet apart from people for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody has to sit in the ER with sick babies but the mom. But people look at you funny when you're like, no, don't hold her, don't kiss her, don't touch her. I know, y'all. Yes, y'all. People will try to kiss all on your baby. It's like in some cultures, it's nothing but love. But you have to tell people like, hey, hold on, little mama or sir. You know what I'm saying? It's too much going around for you to just be randomly thinking you finna walk up to somebody and kiss their baby. But it's all love. But I be having to tell folk, hey, now, are you gonna sit in the hospital with this baby? Okay, then, keep your hands to yourself. Make sure you got some hand sanitizer or something. Right. Like I didn't have little babies through the first pandemic little thing, you know what I'm saying? But I saw people who did, and they definitely had to practice not only 6 feet apart and sanitizing and staying clean. There was no more going out to function, and that's why I love what I do from home, my little office set up and everything. But you didn't invite people over as much. I'm gonna say that was a real blessing. Other than that, the pandemic was horrible, right? Like I agree too. But it created a distance between me and the world in a certain way. It created a distance. I got a lot more done. Just pretty much took advantage of the unfortunateness of the pandemic at that time. And it was very scary. People were dying. So even though I didn't have a little baby through that time, even the bigger kids, I was not. They were like, you could just get it from touching the gas handle and stuff. Like, no. But yes, the weather is changing, guys. So we encourage y'all to, you know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do. Y'all know what we need to do. Let's keep the state of Louisiana in our positive thoughts as prayers. Well, thoughts and prayers, I meant to say, because they are undergoing a current water crisis at the moment. Um, It's so much like, sadness though, for real. But I told y'all I easily internalize people's stuff. They're saying it's looking like how it did with the pandemic as far as people going in buying up all the water. They going through all that out there. And I believe there are like organizations and stuff we can donate through to help those guys with water. And some people are leaving. I think it's just right now it's a threat or something like that, but they're saying that salt water is literally infiltrating their water systems there. I don't know how that's possible, but that's going on. They're telling people don't drink the water at all. So people are bathing, brushing their teeth, and all of it, with bottled water. So we definitely want to count our blessings each and every day. Uh, and make sure we're thinking about others because we want to remember this could be our community or town anytime. Anything anybody else is going through, Florida with the flooding, the tornadoes. We know this winter we're probably going to have a hell of a time with all this snow. And uh, I just, I don't wait till times come. I think about it. I really do. I think about stuff. And then I pray about it and I try to prepare because, like I said, faith without works is dead. But we definitely have our boots stocked up in this house. The only one need boots now is the baby. I'm gonna make sure she got plenty. She wasn't born around a time, it was starting to warm up when she was born. Now she done got bigger, so I'm gonna have to go. She the only one need boots though. She don't know her little family in here. We do boots all winter. But I am not trying to get sick or her sick. So that's why most of our events, our poetry contests, our virtual spelling bees and stuff that we got coming up, for the young people to be able to, win some money and stuff like that. Everything will be virtual and online. I'm gonna keep it just like I got it. the way we've been planning things. And then remember, guys, we also have ebook classes coming soon for those interested in learning the craft of publishing ebooks, right? I'm gonna have two different separate classes, one for the youth and one for adults, of course, okay? Because I felt like I should do them separate like that. But this is the level I'm on now, because me myself, I don't know if I want to announce it yet. Like, I'm definitely going to keep writing. I'm just on another level, and I started back talking to publishing houses so I can have help and have a literary agent this time around. I got some very, very serious, books I'm just serious about that I've taken more time to put more work into. When it comes to specific topics or like opinions like these that I would like people to see my gift, as a writer, and my phenomenal book titles and book covers I design myself is absolutely cool. I'm gonna still keep doing those services for other authors who might need them along the way. But that's just kind of where I am. And it was a hard decision, but I had left off back in 2021. I said I just wanted to kind of focus more on, the services and building Crown Publishing content. Because even if I go work with a publishing house really quick, I'm not going to stop doing what I do for my own business. If anything, it's just going to help me. Maybe people will take Crown Publishing content even more serious when I get on that level. Once again, it's never for the money. We just talked a whole segment about value, and you know what I'm saying? Knowing who we are and trusting that what is meant for us is going to come right to us when I call it divine timing. And if nobody believes in it, I have many stories to share. You just subscribe to this channel, and we're going to talk more about it. But now that I don't fight something like divine timing or, what's meant to be or destiny, I don't fight it no more. And sometimes it does come with a little struggle. It does come with obstacles. It does come with challenges. What? Y'all better go look at go watch The Pursuit of Happiness again, please. And it's just like we talked about Michael Jordan yesterday. You're always gonna have an underdog, black sheep phase. A lot of the greats did. I love talking about that. And I like who's the last story I looked at as far as a documentary? Little Richard. I sure did. He has a very interesting story. People say I'm older than my they've been telling me that since I was little. Something about an old soul, but there's purpose in it today or whatever. I do feel that way, and it takes maturity. Whew, it takes maturity and just really bringing out who I am, trusting who I am, standing on it, and seeing where it takes me, right? So that's just a new announcement too, though. When I actually go ahead and sign a contract, I will, because I want my subscribers to kind of like celebrate with me right here on the channel. And we can talk about it because some people want to know how that process works too. It takes a lot of submitting manuscripts, I can tell you that, if you're not going to, what I'm saying, hire a literary agent. And I remember nights staying up. Like, I don't know if y'all know anything about it. What y'all know about pulling 24 hours? It just, you know what I'm saying? What y'all know about it though? Now, the reason I don't push it like that, I just had a baby and I'm not trying to kill myself. But I remember when I left off with publishing houses last time, staying up, I wanted it so bad. And I told myself maybe for months at a time I wasn't going to. When them girls would go to sleep, like 8, 9 o'clock for school, I'm up. I ain't had no sleep all night type stuff. These are the stories I really want to tell when the time is right. Right here on my channel to inspire other writers. Turn around, get my kids up, get them ready for school and all that, and still come back. Because it's going to take that one publishing house. It could take them 6 to 9 months to get back with you. For anybody that didn't know, on average. Maybe 3 to 6 months, because they have millions of people all across the globe always sending, what I'm saying, their work, trying to get a deal. At the same time, what was I going to say? Every publishing house, they deal with different genres. So that's another part of it, right? You can't just send your work to everyone because you want to be you want to be a bestseller or something. They will help you do that once you get signed. But yeah, without a literary agent, you're doing that hand and footwork, sending all those query letters and manuscripts. Some might just want the first 3 chapters, some just you know what I'm saying, your first chapter. Every publishing company is different, right? One of the last I talked to was Christian Faith Publishing or something like that. But even though it was a very spiritual book, what I brought to the table, I don't know. I think it was too much for him or something. I'm not trying to call them out or anything, but I have like experienced that it always pushed me back to just independently pushing my work. No publishing house is just going to tell me, well, no, we don't accept it, so I never publish it. No, I know how to go publish it anyway, but I know the benefits too of maybe signing a contract with a publishing house, or setting myself up to be paid in advance and sign a contract and just write for this company for 5 years, however I got to do it, right? But this is direction we going. We don't want y'all to miss those upcoming ebook webinar classes and stuff like that, how you can register when I do get this started this fall. We have been busy. If anybody wants to know, this is what we've been doing. Busy planning in 2023, because it won't just be one ebook class. I don't know if I'll do a monthly or something like that yet. But whew, it's just, I don't know. I've been getting all these downloads, new ideas. Y'all know how we call them downloads. New ideas that I'm like, oh, well, I didn't think of that before. But Crown Publishing Content is definitely going to keep pushing, bringing you content. I got another segment coming soon, maybe later today, because I want to talk to you guys a little bit about book trailers and how you can have that service done by us as well. Pretty much just like what a movie trailer is. It's like an intro to your book, kind of give your readers, it sets the mood, kind of just gets them ready for what they are about to dive into when it comes into your book, saying we can set it up. They'll think they're watching a movie trailer. This is us exhibiting your characters, your the setting, everything you wrote in that book, right? We got a lot of books that have been turned into movies anyway. So you can think of it like that. Just kind of like a trailer, a snippet of your book. We're going to talk about where you can also go and create your own. But like we talked about on the segment yesterday, it's not even about people not being willing to do it themselves. It's the time these days, People are trying to get those hours at work on their 9 to 5 jobs, or they're busy with the work that they do, so they just don't have time sometimes to get things like book trailers, flyers, promotional flyers, and stuff like that done. You can always contact us. Learn more about my mission to assist independent authors and freelancers, independent creative freelancers, I should say, in 2023. When you visit my website soon, www.contentcrownpublications.com. You can also book a consultation for a vast list of our publication services when you go to this website. Yeah, you can book a consultation or a podcast slot time to promote your book on our podcast show. You're going to go to calendly.com/crown-publishing-content. We thank you for your support, guys. Don't forget to give this video a like. I do thank you guys for being on here with me till 4 in the morning. I've been on here for 3 hours, and I still need to do a part 2 when we're talking about value. But do remember that. I got a few self-publications I'm going to still put out here, but I just have chosen to do that with my journey. I want to go ahead and work with a publishing company, okay? Anyways, y'all, I gave y'all some good information. I'm also going to leave those links to my website and where you can reserve a slot to become a guest on the show, or inquire about our publication services in the comments section, not the comments section of this live, but on the actual video. Until next time, thank you. If you know a Kevin Samuels fan, because I don't really feel like I just debated all of his topics. Like I said, I'm going to come back and just find snippets of his videos and share them on my stream. And then, it'll be easier for me, like I do my reaction to his, this was just kind of me talking about it, but y'all can understand it better when you actually hear some of his teachings himself. His videos are still out there for anybody wanting to go find out who Mr. Kevin Samuels is. But yeah, that's what this was about. Just my perception, views, and expressions on value when it comes to our personalities, and why I would never let a man, it's nothing against men. Black men always feel like, we got some type of problem or something. Like, no, that's just how I feel. Like, that's just my opinion. I'm not gonna let any man uh he can do his best to devalue me, but you're not gonna teach me my value. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that or something. That's something I gotta go find on my own. And if I feel like it's something I'm missing, whatever relationship showed me that in life, maybe in my early 20s, just like Krishan Rock. I'm glad it did. That's why I say pain, whew, pain is like has value. I'm telling y'all. Somebody might say, "What do you mean?" I mean, it's what that's why you got people that come out and sell their stories, and now they have monetized their whole story, and their story was probably full of pain. Look at Krishan Rock. All she got to do is keep going. She cannot. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say to women. You cannot, because if you knew yourself, if you knew your value, there's no way that you are going to forever take accountability for how a man chose to treat you. What you can do, or how that man talks about you when you're not around, how that man, you can't control that. That's a whole nother person. We are grown around here. Now, I can't control how he feels about me outside of my presence, outside, you know what I'm saying? I can't. But what I can do is choose whether I choose to stay around that type of, straight up, around that type of energy. Like, and that's like telling that man you accept it, or that woman, hey, I accept you devaluing me every day. Always looking for a way to put me down, and embarrassing me in front of in public and making me look bad. Some of us, we gotten past the point where we're gonna say that to you. We just walk away. What you mean? We grow. There's many more fish in the sea or something, right? Krishan knows this too, but she's like, she loved him. I can see the heartbreak. I can see the heartbreak she going through. She's out of all he took her through, she just didn't understand. I feel like that man is demonically possessed right now or something, because that is weird. Like, but sis, if you'll call CPS on him for what him and Alexis had going on with their son over there, why wouldn't you think he'll do some stupid stuff to your child? And that's why I said we must be able to look from afar and study whether somebody knows their value. Because why would you invest your time in it? A man that know his value wouldn't do his son like that. Straight up. Just to get back at the baby mama. Knowing that that child is going to forever love their mother. He can get it taken away and he grow up in the system. He will always know. Somebody's going to always remind that new Krishan Jr. who his mama is. So I don't know, like, what is his mission with her? Like, that boy got to have a demon or something for real.